Hello.
Sir, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay. Our first resource person for today is Professor Obhijit Kumar Pal, who is the head of Department of Education at the West Bengal State University, Barasat. He is also a guest faculty in the Department of Education, Calcutta University. Professor Pal started his service life as a lecturer of education in Srirampur Girls College. He now has over 10 years of invaluable experience in college teaching and 11 years of teaching experience at the university level. His area of interest includes philosophical basis of education, sociological basis of education, history of education, teacher education, guidance, and counseling. He has written around 10 books in Bengali and 8 books in English. He regularly attends various national and international seminars as an expert in the field of education. It is truly an honor to have him with us today. His topic for today's lecture is literature review and content analysis. So without any further delay, I would request Sir to please deliver his lecture. Over to you, Sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ma'am. Respected Principal of Minalini Dotto Mahavidyalaya, respected Professor Loknath Misro, Director, Faculty Development Center, Mizoram University, respected Professor Muktipada Sinha, Head, Department of Education, Jadavpur University, respected Principal of this college, respected Dr. Dilip Kumar Mondol, Head, Department of Education, Minalini Dotto Mahavidyalaya, and Organizing Secretary of this International Online Faculty Development Program. I'm very happy that the authority has given me a chance to deliver a speech on review of related literature and content analysis. At first, I want to show some PPT on review of related literature. Then I shall share the PPT of content analysis. We, the students, teachers, scholars, are very much aware research methodology, and you, the participants from different colleges and universities, have gathered so many informations, new knowledge regarding research methodology in this 7-day online faculty development program, particularly in the field of social science. Review of related literature is a very important part. In the field of education and in the field of social science, when we were students, review of related literature generally used in chapter 2 of the thesis. But at present, sometimes it is written in chapter 2, and sometimes in some areas, in some universities, it is written in chapter 3. When it is used in chapter 3, then the first chapter is introduction, the second chapter is the problem, and the third chapter is review of related literature. I think the students, the teachers, the scholars, all must have some knowledge regarding review of related literature. Ari et al. Has given a definition that to review of related literature enables the researcher to his limits of his field. It helps the researcher to delimit the problem. Actually, review of related literature is very much important in this part. Particularly, if we find the research properly, smoothly, then a researcher must have some knowledge regarding review of related literature or review of related studies. A deliberate attempt on the part of the researcher to examine and review all types of available relevant information for finding out what has already been done or not done so far on the topic of his research study. It is also important and essential to note that the researcher must know what types of study previously done or what types of study previously not done. Then he or she must take the decision, his area of research, then he or she must choose his research problem and so on. Now, I want to share the objectives of review of related literature. At first, the researcher must have some knowledge to select the research area. That means review of related literature helps the researcher to select his or her research area, in which area he or she wants to carry out his study. Then to find out the research gap, it is one of the main objectives of review of related literature part, particularly in this review of related literature, the researcher must know the research gap and he or she must try to find out the research gap. I think my respected colleagues, my respected participants, you know this type of objective. Next, to finalize the research problem, review of related literature helps the researcher to finalize his or her research problem. Which problem is suitable to him or her, which is which can and be concluded in the easiest way, or so on. Review of related literature helps the researcher to delimit the research, particular in which area he or she wants to conduct his or her research, in a state or in a district. Delimitation must be mentioned. To identify and define the variable, you know that in research there are so many variables. Review of related literature helps the researcher to identify the variable, and at the same time it helps to define the various variables. To define the population of research, you know, in some research, the researcher must have some idea regarding population, regarding sample. So review of related literature helps the researcher to define the population of his or her research. To select sampling method, it is one of the main objectives of the review of related literature, to select sampling method, in which method is essential or useful to him or her, and which method, sampling method, should not be used by him or her. To decide the objectives of research, you know, in every research there must be some objective. So before going to review of related literature, the researcher must note down, must write, must think about his or her objective of research. To prevent the repetition of research, it is also important that during studying or during carrying out his or her research, a researcher must aware not to repeat the research. If it is repetition, you know, then if you go through the plagiarism software, it is not taken. So repetition is prohibited, and through review of related literature, the researcher must be aware to prevent the repetition of research. To decide the research method, which research method should be followed by him or her, that should be taken decision by the researcher. To decide the method of data analysis, which method of data analysis is suitable to him or her, and at the same time, which data analysis process can help him quickly to give a concrete data about or interpretation, clear interpretation, and from the review of related literature. To understand the research ethics, my dear colleagues, you must be aware that during carrying out any research work, the researcher must follow some research ethics. So, review of related literature helps the researcher to follow the research ethics. Correct decision about the research tool. Which research tool is needed to me, or which is essential to me, that should be that decision must be taken by the researcher, and that decision, when the researcher takes that type of decision, and a review of related literature helps him or her. To prepare research proposal and research report, review of related literature helps the researcher to write the research proposal smoothly, and at the same time, it helps the researcher to write the research report easily, smoothly, and so on. Now, I want to share steps of reviewing related literature. You know, before starting review of related literature, some questions must be arising. Deciding topic or questions for review. The questions are as follows, like, which area is to be selected for research? Particularly in which field the researcher is sound, whether the area is primary education, whether the area is secondary education, whether the higher education or women education, technical education, he or she must take clear decision for selecting the research. What is the current situation in that area? In this part, the researcher must be aware of the current situation. He must know the previous condition or situation of that area. At the same time, he have some idea regarding current situation in that area. So the relevant question, what is the current situation in that area? How many researches have been done before in that area? It is also an essential question to the researcher. How many researches? If in that area there are so many researches are conducted, then I think the researcher should not proceed in that area. What are the findings of those researches? It is also essential. If the findings are similar to his or findings of research, then he or she must think another findings or some research gaps should be maintained. That's why in the next question, I have mentioned which research gaps are there in that area. There are so many researches are conducted in a particular area, and there are so many researchers have done, and that there are so many findings are there, but there are some research gaps. So the present researcher must find out these research gaps properly or smoothly. Which research problem should be selected? There are so many research problems in that area or in his or her mind. From this research problem, particular one problem should be selected, one or two, and then from the two or from the three, one must be chosen by him or her. Which variable should be considered for research? This is also essential, a part, an essential question to the researcher. There are so many variables, and which variables should be considered for his or her research work. What may be the objectives and hypothesis or research question for selected problem? You know, in every research, there must be some objective. And with based on these objectives, hypotheses are formed. And at the same time, research questions are formed. So, researchers should be careful before conducting any research or before going through the review of related literature, and he or she must have clear knowledge to the objectives and hypothesis or research questions. Which research method should be applied? The researcher must have clear knowledge, clear conception about the research method, or in this research method which is helpful to him or her. Which research tool should be used for research? There are so many research tools from which the researcher must follow 2, 3, 4 or some tools, but not all the tools. So review of related literature, before starting review of related literature, the researcher must ask this type of question. How should the data be collected and analyzed? There for conducting any research, particularly quantitative research, there are so many data are required. And after collecting this data, this should be analyzed properly. So, in this part, particularly review of related literature, the researcher must ask the question, what should the data be collected and analyzed? Which experimental design is to be implemented? If the research is based on experimental research, there are so many experimental designs, then the researcher must aware which experimental design is suited to his or her research, and that should be implemented properly. Which sampling method is to be applied? There are so many sampling methods. To conduct this type of research, the researcher must know the suitable sampling method. What should be the size of the sample? This is also an essential question. The researcher must know the sample size. The sample size should not be too large or too small. How much time the research will take? It is also essential. You know, in some cases, particularly in social sciences, the researcher takes too many times. After crossing 5 years, he or she takes 1 year or 2 years more for further re-registration. I think that should not be fair. The research must be conducted within a stipulated time, scheduled time. And how much expense will occur? It is also essential. You know, in this situation, to conduct any research, expenses will occur. So, how much expense? This is also essential question. Then, I want to mention identifying resources available for searching related related literature. You know, there are so many resources like journals and periodicals. We can gather so many informations, so many data from journals and periodicals. Here I want to give some examples like Journal of Educational Research Washington, D.C., LREP 1920 onwards. And at the same time, Journal of All India Association of Educational Research, Bhubaneswar, Odisha, All India Association of Educational Research, 1987 onwards. From this type of journals, we can get our relevant information, relevant data, government publications and technical reports from several government publications like Government of India report or several health report or several survey report, we can gather so many information, and at the same time technical reports. These are helpful for collecting data regarding review of related literature. And books, you know, the textbooks, journal books means novel or story books or other books, and reference books. This type of books can help to collect data or relevant portions for review of related literature. Next, magazines and newspapers. There are so many magazines in social sciences, and there are so many newspapers in different languages. And from these newspapers, we can store the newspaper cuttings. We can store the magazines from which we can gather relevant information. Conference proceedings and papers. You know, in the field of social science, there are so many conferences, and from these conferences, the proceedings are published, and from these published proceedings and published papers, we can gather so many information. Encyclopedia also act as one of the resources of review of related literature. There are so many encyclopedia, just like Encyclopedia Britannica or Encyclopedia of Education, like I have given here, Lee, Dayton, New York, Macmillan, and Free Press, 1971. Several handbooks may act as one of the resources of review of related literature, like Indian Mental Measurement Handbook, Intelligence and Aptitude Test, New Delhi, NCERT Publications, 1991 onward. And this type of handbooks, not only for mental measurement handbook, psychological handbook, sociological handbook, and others, so on. Yearbooks. You must know that from the yearbook we can gather so many information data. Just think about a Monorama yearbook for general knowledge, or Competition Success Review yearbook for general knowledge and figure problem and so on, about to the persons who are very much interested in competitive exam. Here I mentioned Education Yearbook, New York Macmillan Company, 1972 onward. Indexes. Various indexes can directly or indirectly help regarding review of related literature. British Education Index, compiled by University of Leeds. It provides references to 350 British and European periodicals. And there are other indexes in which historical history or psychology or sociology abstracts. Various abstracts can help in review of related literature, like psychological abstracts, dissertation abstract international, Indian education abstract published by NCERT. These are helpful in review of related literature. Then we must mention reviews. Various reviews are there. Here I mention reviews of research in education, in which various information can be gathered in the field of education. Dissertations. You know that dissertations in MA level or PG level, dissertations in MAd, dissertations in MPhil standard. This type of dissertations directly and indirectly help the researcher for collecting data which will help or improve the review of related literature. Doctoral thesis. That doctoral thesis means PhD thesis, or in case of social science, and the postdoctoral thesis means DLIT thesis. In case of sciences, postdoctoral thesis means DSc thesis. These are also helpful to a researcher to carry out his researches smoothly. Personal communications, which include information from interviews, presentations, lectures, etc. These are helpful to a researcher, particularly the data collected from interview or any presentation or any lectures. Computer generated and online resources. These are also helpful to a researcher, like websites, databases, internet, etc. In present situation, these are most helpful, as because if we go through the Google search, Google Scholar, Google Citation, and various websites are there, various PDF formats are there, and we can easily gather different types of information to conduct our review of related literature. Then these parts are also essential, like classification of related literature. We must classify our collected information and for the smooth performing of review of related literature. Then collection of related literature, and then evaluation of related literature, which means there are so many, you have collected so many related literature, but you evaluate, then you find that out of 10, 4 review of related literature is essential, and the rest of the 6 are should be discarded. So evaluation of related literature is essential. Analysis of related literature. In this part, critical analysis should be done to improve your review of related literature part. And at the last, report writing. Report writing should be done in a proper way. And I think my dear colleagues, dear participants in this faculty development program, you have get an idea about how to write a research report smoothly or correctly. And how to carry out the search of related literature? You know, this can be done in 2 ways: by using library as a tool for searching the related literature, and using computer application. In this present time, computer applications is very much essential, and with the help of ICT, with the help of internet, we can smoothly review any journal, any material, and get huge amount of information. But going to library is also essential. Why? If the thesis, dissertation, doctoral thesis, which are not available in the internet or website, then you must go through the library, and going through several books and relevant information can be gathered from this part to improve your review of related literature. And now, format for report writing of review of related literature. What should be the an ideal format? I think it can be changed from university to university, from state to state, but this is then a model format in which there must be an introduction, then review of theoretical literature, which includes theoretical discussion. There are so many theoretical discussions which improve the review of related literature. Then review of literature based on previous researches. It is also important. before going through the research, you must know whether previous researches, how many previous researches have been done or not done. And then previous researches should be taken as one of the major portion in the research. Abstract of previous researches. After getting the previous research, you must go through the abstract of previous research. As because it is not possible to you to go through all the researches and all the theses. So you must go through the abstract of the previous research. Then you must have some idea regarding synthetical review. Synthetical review means which researcher clarifies the research gap. This will help the researcher to clarify the research gap. You know, there are so many researchers in that particular area, in which area you want to start your research. But there are some research gap, so you must clarify the research gap with the help of synthetical review. And at the same time, review based on meta-analysis. In this part, researcher clarifies which controversial findings of previous researches inspired him to select his research problem. There are so many controversial findings, controversial areas, but some unexplored areas are there. And the researcher must choose that unexplored area to select particularly some explored area, previous research, that will be helpful to conduct his or her study. That means the meta-analysis part, controversial findings of previous researches inspired him to select his or her research problem. This is also one of the main format of this part of review of related literature. And then tasks to be done for writing review of related literature. At first, the researcher must read with a purpose. He or she must read various books, journals, magazines, newspapers, etc., which must have some purpose. Purposeless reading is not necessary. Then look for the major concepts, conclusion, theories, arguments, etc. When reading, he or she must have some idea regarding major concept, concluding part, theories part, argument parts. That should be benefited. That will help his or her research or review of related study. Then write with a purpose. After reading with a purpose, then the researcher must write with a purpose. Started writing, and that writing must have some purpose. Then writing the introduction. Introduction is also essential part in review of writing literature. Why I have chosen this topic, and so on and so on. What is my choice and area of research, problem of research, and so on. Then the main part, writing the body. Writing the conclusion. You know that in the review of related literature, some scholars often write there is no conclusion. I think this is not essential. In every review of related literature part, at the end of this chapter, there must be a conclusion. And at the end, citing references, either APA format or the MLA or the Chicago format, he or she must quote or cite references. Which type of books, which type of journals, which type of periodicals, which website he or she has chosen for conducting his or her research. So, my dear colleagues, I have concluded my review of related literature part, and then I want to start content analysis. This is also an important, but just take 1 minute or 2 minutes. Content analysis is also a popular term, and it is mainly used in descriptive research. So content analysis is a typical descriptive research method and is connected with analysis of communication. There are so many communications part, particularly books, journal, reference, statement, phrases, etc., and so on. And the researcher must analyze this type of communication to carry out his or her research. Opinions, thoughts, reflections of any fact or information may be treated as content. Content analysis, with the help of content analysis, a researcher can go or smoothly go his the research. Now, what should be the definition of content analysis? According to Berelson, content analysis is a research technique for the objectivity and quantitative description of manifest content. In this definition, and the research can be done with a purpose of quantitative description, to manifest some content, to find some content which must be analyzed. And according to Carlinger, content analysis is a method of studying and analyzing communication in a systematic, objective, and quantitative manner for the purpose of measuring variables. Carlinger rightly mentioned that it is a method that helps in analyzing the communication process, which is systematic process, which is objective process, and quantitative process, and with the purpose of measuring variables. There are so many variables, and content analysis helps us to measure the variables. Now, sources of content analysis. There are so many sources of content analysis, like verbal printed material, newspaper, books, journals, periodicals, brochure, autobiography, articles, etc. These are known as verbal printed material. You know, when we go through our research for smooth conducting, newspaper cuttings, books, periodicals, journals, brochure, autobiography, and others help us. These are verbal printed material. And at the same time, verbal written material, that is letter, diary, etc. These are also helpful for conducting any research, particularly in content analysis. Verbal oral material, lecture, speech, radio news, debate, song, audio CD are essential part or sources of content analysis. And you know, then visual material, which can be visualized, that is drawing, photograph, paintings, silent movie, statue, sculpture, etc. These are helpful. These are the most important sources of content analysis. And lastly, audiovisual materials, that means cinema, TV news, drama, role play. These are known as audiovisual materials of content analysis. These materials, audiovisual materials, helps the researcher to carry out his research smoothly. Then I want to mention steps of content analysis. Following steps, if following steps could be followed, I think content analysis can be done properly or smoothly. Selection of the area of research. At first, in this step, the selection of the area of research, which area he or she wants to select. Then selection of the problem. According to him or her, which problem he or she thinks that is relevant to his or her research. Then formation of the objective. In this part, the researcher must form some objective, and without the help of objective, any research cannot go smoothly. So objective is very much essential. Formation of the research questions or hypothesis. For smooth conduction of content analysis, formation of research questions or hypothesis is essential. Particularly in content analysis, generally research questions are used, but in some cases where there is a comparison of the data, then hypothesis may be used. Selection of sample. This is also one of the steps of content analysis. How much samples are required, and then units of analysis in which process the sample analysis should be done. This is also one of the steps of content analysis. And then finally, deciding categories for units of analysis. There are so many units of content analysis, and that should be categorized by the researcher. For this purpose, the researcher must have some knowledge, must have some experience. And then preparation of record schedule. In this part, the researcher must prepare some record schedule in which he or she can record his or her collected data in a tabular form, and then derivation of units for analysis. There are so many units for analysis which help the content analysis part that should be derived properly. And then categorization and analysis of units in which manifest meaning and latent meaning. To know, there are some meaning which clearly says there is no latent meaning part. But in some cases, in some content, there are some latent meaning. Just like wow or very good. It is inspiration term, and sometimes it is these are used to satire senses. Wow or very good in some situations. Derivation of finding. What type of findings are there which is helpful to carry out his or her research? That should be done properly. And at the end, report writing, a proper report writing with the help of content analysis. This is also essential. Now, importance of content analysis. That is why content analysis is essential part in the field of social science or in the field of education. Just go through the slide. It helps to study any subject in detail by collecting material from different sources. You know that with the help of content analysis, we can gather any subject material from different sources. Any communication unit can be studied deeply by it. With the help of content analysis, communication unit can be properly studied. Large qualitative information can be quantified and condensed in the limited area. With the help of content analysis, qualitative information can be quantified, can be numbered or in quantified form. It can be stated in quantified form. And last, it is helpful to other research methods like content analysis is helpful in historical research, in ethnographic research, or social research, and so on. Okay. So these are the main importance of content analysis part. Then we must mention some other importance of content analysis, like researcher does not have to contact the people for collecting data. This is also particularly in this pandemic period, the researcher does not have to contact the people. This is really a problematic situation. So, with the help of content analysis, is the researcher can gather data without any contact of the people. Different communications based on the same theme can be compared properly by comparison, proper comparison, like the education system of India and Bangladesh, or the education in standard of West Bengal and Bihar, and so on. A long statistical process is not required for developing a research tool. In this part, particularly if we follow a statistical process, long statistical process is not required. There are some researches where statistical process is not required, particularly in content and analysis part. The researcher does not have to face any practical problem when going through this content analysis. There is no problem of a practical situation. The limitations of content analysis, there are some limitations, like the reliability of such study cannot be established in any way. This is not reliable in some cases. At the same time, collection, analysis, and interpretation can be affected by the biasness of a researcher. If the researchers have some previous biasness, particularly a place or a person or some persons or a area, that biasness may be harmful to the researcher or in the part of content analysis. New and unexperienced researcher cannot use this method effectively. We have previously mentioned that to follow the content analysis part, the researcher must have some experience, must have some knowledge. So this is one of the limitations of content analysis. Deep study of communication material requires more time. To conduct content analysis smoothly, more times are required. And at last, if care is not taken while deriving the meaning from the content in the right context, reliable findings cannot be derived. This is also a simple part. I have just concluded my speech. Suggestions for using effective content analysis, just go through, I skip. Communication material should be studied deeply. The researcher should have good command on language. It is also essential part. The researcher can take training for improving his or her language efficiency. Intensive efforts should be made to derive latent meaning of the word in the right context. And at last, some examples of research problem of content analysis. Educational thoughts of Swami Vivekananda or Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi or Rabindranath Tagore or Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya or Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, or comparative study of textbooks of the same subject of different states, study of court judgment given on educational dispute. My dear colleagues, today Supreme Court will give a judgment regarding the UG and PG evaluation process. So all these are essential part in the content analysis part. I just I conclude my presentation. Thanks a lot for your cooperation and thanks.
Thank you, sir, so much for the comprehensive lecture. The session was extremely useful and enriching. We will now quickly take a few questions from the chat box. Due to paucity of time, we will not be able to take all the questions, though I can see the chat box is really flooded with a lot of questions. But I will try to sum up and just take 2-3 relevant questions.
Yes.
The first question is, what is synthetical review and difference between narrative review and scoping review?
Yes. I have already mentioned that in synthetical review, the researcher must have some idea regarding research gap. And the next question, please mention, Ishita madam, please mention.
Yes, sir, what is synthetical review? And the next question is the difference between narrative review and scoping review.
In this narrative review, particularly vivid descriptions or narrations is essential, and scoping review, the scope of the research, particularly scope of the review, has given importance. Next.
Yes. Next, sir, the next question is about meta-analysis. If you could explain what is meta-analysis.
Meta-analysis. In this part, meta-analysis is one of the main part of review of related literature, in which the researcher must know which previous research inspire him or her, particularly by studying so many researches or so many the previous research records, he will get inspiration and to conduct his present research. Okay. Then.
Okay, thank you, sir. And the last question that we will take is about content analysis. So someone is asking how to select sample in content analysis. How to select sample in content analysis.
Actually, selecting of sample is a very essential part. The researcher must think his limitations, particularly the type of research, whether the research is qualitative or quantitative or experimental or survey type, so on. Then he must think in which time he or she want to conclude his research within a certain period. That's why sampling should be taken properly, and time is one of the main part in his or her research.
Thank you so much, sir. I will request you to kindly share your email ID with the participants. So in case they have further questions, they can directly send you an email.
Okay.
So if you could share your email ID.
Yes. akpal.india@gmail.com.
Thank you so much, sir. I hope the participants have written it down. So thank you for your wonderful lecture.
Thank you, Mr. Madam, and thank you, Dr. Dilip Mondol, for giving me the opportunity to share my some views regarding review of literature and content analysis. And I think that in this 7-day online and international faculty development program, all the participants, my fellow colleagues, become and can get more and more information regarding recent innovations in the field of social sciences. I have noticed the list of resource persons, in which so many resource persons are there from different parts of India and abroad. And with the help of their specific and enlightened speech, I think that the participants become enlightened, and I wish this online in faculty development program a grand success. Thank you all. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. I will ask Dilip Babu, has the next speaker joined? Professor Mondol, is he here?
Yes. I have joined.
Yes. Sir has joined?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
So, Dilip Babu, now I leave. Okay, Rishta Madam, now I can leave.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot. We now welcome our second resource person for today, Dr. Ashish Srivastava, who is the founder head of the School of Education, Mahatma Gandhi Central University, Bihar. Professor Srivastava is a well-known academician in the field of education. He was previously associated with the University of Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, and the Amity University, Lucknow campus. He joined the Vishwa Bharati University, Shantiniketan in the year 2010 and served there for almost a decade before joining the Mahatma Gandhi Central University as a professor in the Department of Education. Professor Srivastava has a vast and rich experience of traveling and delivering lectures at different prestigious universities and institutions across the country. He has numerous presentations and publications to his credit. His area of specialization includes philosophy of education, educational policies, and programs. His topic for deliberation today is curriculum design and content development to be delivered by MOOCs, which is massive open online courses through Moodle. Thank you, sir, for your gracious presence. We are really looking forward to your presentation. Over to you now, sir.
Thank you, Rishita Paul Chaudhary ji. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. At the outset, let me express my heartfelt thanks and let me express my congratulations to the Department of Education and IQAC of Mrinalini Datta Mahavidyalaya for organizing this wonderful faculty development program, methodology of research in social sciences, latest innovations. I'm very happy to see, I can see many known, almost all known faces. After a long gap, I can see many known faces. So, Chandrima Bhattacharya, Professor Ranjan Das ji, Professor Basu Chaudhary. Recently, I interacted with Professor Chaudhary. Then Professor Rita Sinha is well known to me. Professor Apur Bandhopadhyay, Loknath Mishra is a very good friend of mine, Mukti Pada Sinha, Mitali Gangopadhyay. Thank you so much, Dr. Dilip Kumar Mandal, for giving me this opportunity. Can you just let me know whether my voice is audible properly?
Yes,
Rishita?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
You're audible.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, Dr. Mrinal Mukherjee, who approached me to interact with the colleagues of different parts of country, across the globe, because the international faculty development program across the globe to interact with. I appreciate the confidence of Dr. Dilip Kumar Mandalji, who has given me this task, huge task, which generally takes 6 hours to cover, generally, minimum. So he is expecting me to deliver this content in 1 hour. So I really appreciate his overconfidence on me. So what I'll be doing is, I will be dealing this whole presentation in 2-3 parts. One is to make you oriented, to make you aware on Moodle aspect, MOOC aspect. Then I will be dealing with the essentialities of preparing, designing your curriculum, and then I requested Dr. Dilip Kumar Mandalji to ask the colleagues who are attending this faculty development program to keep a laptop with them, so that those who are interested and those who are not having, somebody is writing that I am not visible. Is it so, Dr. Dilip?
You are visible.
Sir, you're visible.
Okay, somebody is writing that not visible. So those colleagues of mine who are not having their own website, they can prepare their Moodle. They can have their own Moodle website. So to begin with, I'll focus on few things which you need to know, that nowadays we are adopting several e-resources and different innovative teaching learning practices, such as we are focusing on MOOCs, we are focusing on innovative pedagogies, flipped learning, mobile learning, innovative educator networks. So there are many things which we are looking at nowadays. See, when we discuss on MOOCs, MOOCs is a concept. MOOCs is a philosophy which we achieve, which we deliver by using different platforms. So I'll be discussing. I will be telling you many platforms. Moodle is one of the platforms only. So what I personally feel is MOOCs, massive open online courses, are the answers. So now we need to identify the questions. If MOOC is the answer, what is the question? The question is how to effectively address the challenges of inclusive education in the UN Millennium Development Goals and our own Right to Education Act, as well as the desire to increase the gross enrollment ratio in higher education. If you see, recently we have seen this new education policy where the government has kept the target to achieve this GER by 50% by 2035. So MOOCs may play a crucial role. And the second question for which MOOC is the answer is, can we have high quality yet mass education? So this MOOCs are the answer for these two questions. Now there is a doubt, there is a kind of apprehension that if MOOCs are going to dominate, what will happen to the fate of teachers? See, the teacher is critical in any situation. The teacher is the role of teacher, because why? Because MOOCs is a philosophy, MOOCs is a concept which we are going to deliver using different platforms like Moodle, edX, Coursera, etc. So it is teacher only who is going to design, who is going to create the wonder, who is going to create the curiosity, who is going to create the excitement and jaw-dropping moments as part of learning experience. It is the teacher who is going to design the curriculum. It is the teacher who is going to deliver the content. And because you all are teaching in higher education institution, so you understand the crucial role of teacher in delivering effectively, and vice versa too. We all know the increasing role of ICT, and this COVID-19 pandemic especially has taught us the importance of information and communication technologies. So now when we are using these kind of platforms, like we are using Moodles, we are using any platform we are using, we can have two broad approaches. We can have two broad approaches. One is synchronous learning model, and another one may be asynchronous learning model. So synchronous learning model, asynchronous learning model. And we all understand that synchronous learning model means where virtual classroom approach, where students can attend live lectures at the scheduled hour from wherever they are. And
We request all participants.
okay, and while we deal with asynchronous learning model, it deal with the traditional way in addition to e-learning setup. Precisely, we prefer to use asynchronous learning model where we can communicate, we can collaborate, we can host the content, and we can assess our students. And to use this asynchronous learning model, we need to have different learning management systems. And I am sure that you all are aware on this LMS, learning management system, which is an integrated software environment supporting all the functionalities along with some mechanism for student enrollment into courses and general user management. So in this sense, Moodle, you can say, is a learning management software. So we will be dealing this particular session into in three steps, so to say, three steps. One is, I just briefed you about a few essential things. Second is, we will be focusing on content preparation. And third is, we will be focusing on content delivery. So today's agenda, what Dr. Dilip Kumar Mandal has given me the assignment to deal with you is Moodle. And I told you Moodle is a learning management software. It is a platform through which a facilitator, and as a teacher we are the facilitator, can extend online courses for his or her learners in a secured way. Nowadays you are having many options, you are having many LMSs in your hand. But Moodle, what I have personally found is Moodle is very handy. Yes, Moodle is free. I am going to deal with Moodle site in a while. So Moodle is very handy. Moodle is comparatively easy. Moodle is comparatively easy to handle, and Moodle is very easy to understand, to organize, to prepare, to deliver in all senses. So basically Moodle, what is a Moodle? Moodle is basically an acronym, which means modular, object-oriented, dynamic learning environment. So Moodle stands for modular, object-oriented, dynamic learning environment. This is, and it is a online learning management system. And as I was telling you that if you are not interested in Moodle, you can explore many other platforms. There are several platforms to provide, to deliver this MOOCs, massive open online courses. Like Blackboard is another learning LMS, edX is another LMS, Coursera is another LMS, Moodle is another LMS, Neptel is another LMS, Khan Academy is another LMS, Stanford Online is another LMS, and recently in 2017, Government of India has launched Swayam platform, which is completely indigenous in nature. But in Swayam, you have a limitation that you need to prepare your program and you need to send it to a committee which will be approving and which will be uploading at Swayam platform. So in that sense, Moodle is easy to handle, Moodle is easy to prepare, Moodle is easy to organize. And as you all are aware, because all of you are teaching in higher education institutions, so you are aware on the importance and benefit of these courses, and also you are aware on that UGC has mandated now to deliver certain portion of your credit through online courses. So online teaching can be organized in many ways. Like if you wish, you can organize your online teaching purely offline. You can have your online teaching in blended mode, and you can have your online teaching purely online mode. So generally we prefer blended mode of teaching, which is majority of the teachers prefer blended online mode of teaching, blended mode of online teaching. This is about Moodle. Now come to the content preparation. See, I am not jumping onto the Moodle all of a sudden, because in order to reach to Moodle, in order to understand the Moodle, you need to have certain prerequisites in your hand. You need to have certain preparation. You need to understand many things. So now I am going to deal with content preparation. Content preparation. So you can prepare your content in two ways. As I told you in the very beginning, that this is the issue which I have been given by Dr. Dilip Kumar Mandal ji, requires at least 6 hours at a stretch. So I am trying to cover the essential major points to make you aware, to make you oriented only, Rest, whoever are interested can request Dilip Kumar Mandal ji to organize a whole day session for this Moodle only, so that you can have your own fully functional Moodle website. Okay, so I was telling you about content preparation. For this reason, you can have two approaches. One, you can prepare your content using softwares. You can prepare your content using softwares. Second thing is, in the second part, you can prepare your content using OERs. open educational resources. Dr. Dilip ji, many colleagues are writing not visible again and again. It is creating distraction. So I think the problem is with the participants' internet connection.
Yes, sir, you are completely visible. Absolutely okay.
Okay, because the message is flashing again and again that not visible, not. Yes.
Yeah, it must be a problem from their end.
Yeah, I can understand now. Okay, fine. So content preparation can be done in two ways. One, using the software. Second, using OERs. Now there are plenty of softwares, and day by day these softwares are increasing like anything. But the easily accessible, easily approachable softwares I am referring here, you can use your own Google Drive. You can use your own Google Drive to have your own documents, to have your own presentations, to have your own Excel sheets. So whatever you work on, you can work on MS Office. Whatever work you can have your in your MS Office, you can save these things in your Google Drive. My dear colleagues, let me give you a caution. Free version of Moodle is having very limited space. It is of only 200 MB. I am repeating, only 200 MB. So you need to design your program. You need to keep your content in such a manner so that you can utilize maximum space. You can save maximum space, and that is why in the software section I told you to use your own Google Drive. So I am not jumping to Moodle site. I am repeating it again. I am telling you to have certain prerequisites. I am telling you to have your prerequisite preparation beforehand to go to prepare your own Moodle site. So in order to prepare your content, you need to have your own content, which you are going to deliver, which you are going to share, which you are going to teach. And these contents can be in the form of docs, can be in the form of PDFs, can be in the form of presentations like PowerPoint presentation, can be in the form of Excel. Other than these materials, so these materials you can save your own Google Drive. Other than these materials, you can create your own PowerPoint presentations. You can create your own video lectures. You can blend your PowerPoint presentations with your video lecture. So for this reason, you can use a wonderful software, Presentation Tube. Whatever I am telling, these specific issues, these specific points will be taking at least 45 minutes to 1 hour in if I need to explain it in detail. So I am just briefing you. You can use it on the basis of trial and error, and later we can have some long duration interaction. So Presentation Tube is a wonderful software. Presentation Tube is an easily accessible software through which you can make your own video lectures. And Presentation Tube gives you the facility where you can place your PowerPoint presentation along with your video, along with your appearance, and it gives you a Presentation Tube, TUBE, not due. It is Presentation Tube, TUBE. Then UTip Cam, then Plotagon, then Cam Studio. There are many softwares. So to begin with, you need to understand the use of your own Google Drive. You need to understand the use of Presentation Tube. So these are a few softwares through which you can create your own resources. Now the second part is you can take resources which is available on different repositories. I'm sure you must be knowing NROER. National Repository of Open Educational Resources. Today I am telling you many such platforms from where you can get wonderful OERs, open educational resources. For example, OER Commons. OER Commons. You can Google it. You can just place this particular word OER Commons in Google, and you will be getting that website. And from there you can have different OERs, open educational resources. Another platform is NPTEL. Another platform is Sakshat, SAKSHAT. Another platform is NROER, Teachers Portal, Open Resources for Schools, National Institute of Open Schooling, Lecture Fox, MIT. So there are plenty of platforms from where you can have these OERs. If you are not in a position to prepare your video, and you have found some video over YouTube and you want to use that video in your particular presentation, you can use it. But I am just giving you a caution. Be very careful. Be very careful. I am repeating it again. Be very careful while you are using videos from YouTube. My dear colleagues, you may be trapped under plagiarism. So before selecting video, before using video, ensure whether you have filtered that particular video using Creative Commons. License, you need to understand these licensings. So whatever resources you are going to use, you need to ensure what kind of license you have been permitted, whether you are permitted to use it, whether you are permitted to edit it, whether you are what kind of license it is having, that content is having. Without going through the license, kindly avoid using these videos. Otherwise any of your good friends can trap you under plagiarism. Berkeley University, Yale University, Project Asker, Wiki University, Khan Academy, Open Learning Object Repository, Princeton University. So there is a huge list for from where you can get OERs. So what I am going to just summarize it. So we are going to prepare our content. We can prepare our content using softwares like G Drive. We can prepare it and we can save it in G Drive. Why I am using G Drive or OneDrive? Nowadays there are many platforms that I will tell you a little later. And you can prepare your own video lecture. You can use presentation tube. And some colleague of mine has just written a screen. There are many softwares nowadays. So now, so this is the way you prepare your content. This is the way you select your content from OERs. Now, the second important part is how to deliver your content. How to deliver your content. In order to deliver your content, you need to select the platform, the nature of platform, which platform you are going to use. So since today we are discussing on Moodle, so we will be restricting ourselves on Moodle only. So how can we deliver this content? So first is, you need to have your own website. Since this is an online mode, I cannot see any face here. And in order to read your messages, I need to go into the message section. So I am not aware how many of you are having your own Moodle website. Those who are having it, very good. Those who are not having their own Moodle website can have your own Moodle website in today's session by signing into some few steps. So first of all, you need to prepare your content. And the second part, for delivering your content, you need to have your own website. After having your own website, you need to understand few things. Number one is how to start a course. So now you are, if suppose after a few minutes you will be having your own website. So second thing, you need to know how to start a course. Second important issue is you need to know how to enroll your student. Moodle cannot be accessed by anyone. It will be accessed by those participants who will be allowed by you as a teacher or as an administrator of your own website. So you will be having your own website. You will be the owner of your website, and you will be giving admissions. You will be giving entry to the student, to your students, and only those students will be in a position to access that particular website, that particular section. So after having your own website, you need to understand a few things. Like first, I told you how to start a course. Second, I told you how to enroll your student. Third is how to make online announcements. So whatever I am telling you, Moodle is having all the facilities. So first, you will be knowing how to start a course, then how to enroll your student, then how to make online announcement. And the next part is, important part is, how to upload your study material. How to upload your study material. Whatever material you have prepared previously, and you have kept it in Google Drive. You have prepared your video lectures. So whatever material you have prepared, how to upload those materials into your website. And the next important thing is you need to know how to conduct online MCQ test or quiz. And next is you need to know how to start an online discussion. So after having your own website, you need to know how to start a course, how to enroll students, how to make online announcement, how to upload the study material, how to conduct online MCQ test, and how to start an online discussion. So these things you are supposed to do in your own website. Now, is it possible to know how many of you are interested to make your own website today? So that I can brief the steps of this thing. I am just going into the message section now.
Yes, sir, a lot of people are answering that they are interested. So I am seeing a lot of this.
Okay, fine. So as I had placed my request to Dilip Kumarji yesterday to request all my colleagues to have their own laptops. I am sure, I believe you are having your own laptop with you right now. If you are having your own laptop right now, connect it with internet. Open your Google, and in the bar above, you just write moodlecloud.com. moodlecloud.com. I am telling you the spelling, exact spelling. In the address bar, you type https://Moodle, moodlecloud.com. moodlecloud.com. And for your convenience sake, you can type also after moodlecloud.com/app/en/. In the address bar, I'm repeating once again, in the address bar itself, you you just type https://moodlecloud.com/app/en. So you will be getting a page where you can see different modules of Moodle. Rishita ji, you please be with me so that I can verify certain things.
Okay, yes, I'm here. So they are,
Uh,
I can see Kavita Dikshit writing that she has been successful in opening it.
app.app/en, not in. app/en, E for elephant, en. So you will be getting a page where you can see different modules of Moodle. So
Yes,
like
they can see the page.
fine. Yes. First module is free. Second module is for starters. And third module is for schools. So you need to work on free version. If you can see, you need to pay $0. For a starter, it is $80 per year. For a school, it is $250 per year. It is $500 per year. It is $1,000 per year. So what we are going to do is we are going to work on free version. Now, under free version, if you can see, just be on this particular page only for time being. I need to tell you certain things. For this version, for free version, you can work with the maximum of 50 students. So if you are having, so for example, if you are having 50 students in your class, yes, right now nowadays it has been days have been restricted. So 50 users you can allow, and it will give you only 200 MB space. And I am sure nowadays we all are using smartphones, and we know the capacity of 200 MB. 200 MB is nothing. Nowadays we are using mobiles of 128 GB, 620, 256 GB. So this Moodle is giving you only 200 MB. And that is why I told you to keep everything in your Google Drive so that you can save, so that you can share only link. You cannot afford to keep even a single book over this Moodle platform. Therefore, you need to use Google Drive. So now click on this free version, get started. Click on get started. Click on get started. When you will be clicking on get started, you will be getting a page where you need to create your new account. So now click on create new account.
Sir, is it possible to share your screen? Some of the participants are asking so that they can directly see and follow you that way.
The problem is I don't use this particular WebEx platform.
Okay.
I'm using it from my mobile. I'm using it from mobile. So I'll be switching.
No issues, sir. You continue. Okay. Continue, sir.
What I will do is I will be sharing some snapshots over email.
Okay, sir. Definitely.
So they need to follow certain basic steps. Create new account. Click on create new account. Then you will be getting a page where you need to fill certain basic informations of yourself. You just fill those basic informations. After filling these basic informations, you need to accept this Moodle Cloud Terms of Services by clicking on that, by checking that particular box. Ishita ji, let me know if anyone, any participant.
So I am getting some questions in which they are saying so free trial or $80 a year, and then some people are saying for starter they are asking $80 a year. So if they want a little clarification
No.
on that.
I told in the very beginning that you need not to click on a starter. You need to click on free version only.
Yeah.
Before see, the first row is of for free version, $0. So just
Okay,
click
sir.
free version.
Yeah, so
Get started in with free version only.
yes. So they have followed you here. Till here they're okay. They've reached. I'm
Fine.
getting
So
some.
get started. Then you will be getting a page. Create new account. First, you need to make yourself comfortable, confident, and well aware with the website. Then you can use this priced version, and you can request your institution to purchase these things. Create new account. When you will be clicking on create new account, you need to fill all basic informations.
So, sir, Shomak Biswas is saying I have done it. Clicked
Wonderful.
it, next icon, and my name and other details are being asked now. So there's
Okay.
another person who's saying it's done. So they have
Fine.
followed this one.
Fine. So after filling these basic informations, you need to accept these terms of services by checking the box. Then you will be asked in which name you want your own website. In which name you want your own website. So you need to, for example, my website is ashishmoodlecloud.com. So you can use your surname, you can use your pet name, or whatever name, in whatever name you want your website, you need to fill in site name. Site name.
Sir, Kavita Dikshit is asking that she's facing some problem about hosting because they are showing 3 options of country, Ireland, USA, and UK as site for hosting.
USA. Any option may be given, but USA gives you a prompt response.
Okay, you can carry on, sir.
So after filling these informations, after filling this hosting country, you will be getting some OTPs kind of things. Ireland, you can choose Ireland. You can choose whatever country you want. You can choose. No issues. Then you will be reaching to the page where you will be asked to give your site name. Yes, it is secured. You can use it. So when you will be filling site name, you need to check whether that name is available, because sometimes if you are having some common name, that name is already occupied, so you cannot have in that name. So you need to use different permutations and combinations. For example, if your name is Kesang, so KESANG, you can use your birth date, you can use your first initial letter. So with this strategy, you can have your own website. Hosting country, you can use, you can fill this for use in higher education.
So Shayantani Adhikari is writing, she could create it. She was successful in creating it.
Wonderful. So your faculty development program is a success in that sense.
Successful.
That now they are having their own website. After vote of thanks, they will be having their own website.
Yes.
Now,
lot of people have created. Yes, sir.
Wonderful. So now you are those who have created and those who are about to create. You are having your own website. Now you need to decorate it. For decoration, you need to understand many steps. You need to go through many steps. So today, keeping in view the time constraint, I'll be sharing only few steps only. But as I told you, it is minimum 6 hours deliberation, minimum 6-hour deliberation. Now you can, after creating your website, you can have your own password, etc. And if you received your success, oh, wonderful, kvtadikshit.moodlecloud.com. I have seen this message. Wonderful. Congratulations, Kavita. Now, after doing all these things, just instruct the site. You just click on thanks, take me to the Moodle site now. After fulfilling, after doing everything, just click on thanks, take me to my Moodle site now. By clicking to that particular portion, the window, now you will be taken to your own Moodle site. You will be taken to your own Moodle site. Here you can see my new Moodle site, where you'll be getting. I can see many websites now.
Yes, yes.
So now I think those who have created already, they can see their home page. Home, dashboard, calendar, private files, my courses, introduction to Moodle, site administration, my new Moodle site. Now, as since all of you are using your email, now many of you are using Twitter, many of you are using Facebook, like you update your profile in any social media platform, in a very similar manner, you can update your profile. If you see at the top, right hand side top, you can upload your photograph, you can upload your whatever profile you can upload your you can update your profile here in this section. Now these things you can do, and I am telling you one thing. Now you have your own website, and you need to use certain trial and error methods. You can just explore as you were exploring in different social media sites. So for this reason, at your home page, you can see below your dashboard, you can see site administration. What is the time right now?
So 7:50.
Okay. So you can see site administration. So site administration is the major key. I am telling you, I am briefing you on the major key. Site administration is the major key. As soon as you will click on site administration, you will be taken to a new page of site administration. Site administration. So at your those who have created your own website, you just open your home page. At your home page, you can see a button of site administration. Yes, Shayantani Adhikari, you can register your website. It will take only 1 minute. Or you can register it later also. Site administration. So when you will be clicking on site administration, you can see a page where you will be getting information. You can see site administration. Under site administration window, you can see users. By clicking on users, you can upload your students into your own website. But this is not so easy in a manner which in the manner I told you. So uploading users will be having its own steps. But I am just briefing you. You can see users. So by clicking on users, you can upload users. Courses, by clicking on courses, for example, many of you must be teaching at bachelor's level, many of you must be teaching at master's level, many of you must be teaching at different semesters of bachelor level. So you can upload your courses, you can upload your, you can update your grades. And so you can see this particular page where you are having many options. Many options. So after doing these things, you just register your website. You just register your website. And as you have tuned, as you have set up your Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, etc., you can beautify, you can set your profile, you can set your photos in a very similar manner, in a very similar manner. Now you need to set your front page. So now I think in order to design it, in order to decorate it, you need to explore all the buttons one by one using trial and error method. And in this short span of time, it is not possible to update you, to make you aware on each and every button separately. But since you have your own website, you can and Moodle is providing a demo lesson also. So those who are really interested, can go through the Moodle demonstration and use, and you can have your own understanding. You can have your own mechanism to update your own website. So these questions will remain same: how to create a course, how to enroll your student, how to upload MCQ, how to give assignment, how to give tests. It's all these buttons you need to explore. So I have hinted you for your help to use Moodle demonstration. Moodle has arranged this demonstration. You can request them and they will provide you a demo to decorate, to design this particular your particular site. Now keep active, keep ready, and before entering nowadays this COVID pandemic is going on. Several almost all higher education institutions are being run on online mode only. So you can utilize this opportunity to have your own Moodle website, to enroll your students, to deliver your all the teaching learning through your own Moodle website. So I think for today's, this is enough for you. You can rest. You can see from this Moodle demonstration. Rishita ji.
Yes. Thank you, sir, for your extremely informative lecture. I'm sure our participants found it very useful and beneficial. All our participants got hands-on experience of operating the Moodle now, and they all have their websites. Most of them, I can see. They've also sent the link. So that's a great achievement, and thank you so much, sir. I would request you to please share your email ID. In case they have further problem or they want to ask you, they can get in touch with you via email. So if you would please share your email ID with our participants.
So I am just typing it in the chat box.
Yes, sir. Please do that, sir. So thank you, sir, for being with us today. And we hope, like you were saying, that, you know, in such a short span of time, it was not possible to teach them everything related to Moodle. So we hope to see you someday very soon in some other special lecture program, which will only be devoted specially for Moodle and such kind of platform. So you can, you know, show us in full detail. So hope you will join us again very soon.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
With this, we come to the end of this particular technical session. We will now move on to our next speaker. Our next speaker is Dr. Partho Sharathi Malik. We now welcome our last and final resource person for this faculty development program, Dr. Partho Sharathi Mollik. Professor Mollik completed his Masters in Education from Ravenshaw College, MPhil from Kalyani University, and PhD from Rabindra Bharati University. He started his teaching career in the PG Department of Education, Fakir Chand College, West Bengal, as an assistant professor in the year 2006. He is presently serving as an associate professor and head of department at the School of Education, Gangadhar Meher University, Sambalpur, Odisha. He has completed 3 research projects and has published 20 research papers and 13 articles in different national and international journals. He is also the author of 3 books published by reputed international publishers. His area of interest include examination reforms in higher education and sociology of education. Today, he will be delivering his lecture on the topic Quantitative Research Design. I now request Professor Malik to please deliver his lecture. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Although my picture is not clear because due to some light problem, I am also facing this problem. No problem. So if my voice is clear, it will be sufficient for me. So at the very outset of my today's discussion, I would like to extend my wholehearted thanks to the principal of the college, Mrinal Datta College, and the secretary of the program, Dr. Dilip Kumar Mandal, and the collaborating agency conveners or joint conveners. I will extend my wholehearted thanks to all of them to provide this opportunity to me to discuss my view or my thinking about quantitative research design. Thank you, Dilip Da, again. Before going to start, thank you, Dilip Da. Thank you, Dilip Da. Before going to start my discussion, my intention or my discussion will basically concentrate about the basic concept of the quantitative design and the different types of quantitative design and where to use these designs and the some data collection procedures. In generally, we face problem when conducting the research. In this way, I will cover my discussion. So before going to go in detail, in generally we face one dilemma. The dilemma is basically the dilemma is basically regarding the quantity, quality, or the mix approach. We are very much face problem to how to select the designs. Because why this? What is called a design? Before going to design, I will say what is called a design. A research design is basically integration or collection of some of the basic process of data collection and data analysis procedure and the basic theory of conducting the research. On the basis of these basic 3 principles, there is a primarily major two division. One is called quantity, another is called quality. Then after this is synthetically when we do by mixing the 2 approach, this is called a mixed research design.
এই লোকটা কি বলে যাচ্ছে কনস্ট্যান্টলি গো এই যে এই স্যারটা
We request the participants to be please mute your mics.
Is there any problem? Hello? Is there any problem?
please continue.
Sir, you can continue.
Mm. Mm. Yes, yes. Mm. So, so the quantitative research design has some basic principles based upon which there will be we can think that it will be separate from the qualitative design. First thing is that in the quantitative design, our focus is on the number system. That means we get the data, basically the numerical data. Number one. Number two, and the analysis of data is primarily statistical in nature. And third thing is that our main approach or the main perspective in the quantitative research design is basically theory testing or the hypothesis testing. And the fourth one is that the research result will be generalizable to a large group of people. That means I discussed about the four principles of the primarily the quantitative design. On the other hand, in case of qualitative design, whenever a researcher is conducting any research and his or her research is basically qualitative in nature, then it
Francisco, Francisco.
someone is saying in between, please wait after completion of the research. After completion of my act to me, I will try to my best to clear the doubt. In between my presentation, if someone will say I am facing problem very much. If you prefer, then I can also use the bilingual, that means English and Bengali, if you prefer. Otherwise, I will speak in English, no problem. দিলীপ দা বাংলায় বললে কি ভালো হবে না ইংরেজি বললে ভালো হবে?
Speak in English.
I can speak in English. Okay. Okay. So in case of the qualitative design, why I am just presenting all things. I will say at the end of my. In case of qualitative design, basically the researcher is himself the best data collection instrument, and the result is basically contextual in nature, and there is a low generalizability of the result. And the primary approach in the qualitative research is not the theory testing, rather theory building or the hypothesis building. Okay. So in this way, we think that there is a, in case of as we are from the social science research, and the majority of the participants are from the Department of Education, either they are the researcher or the faculty member. So I am trying to discuss or present my view from this perspective. What exactly happens? This quality and quantity, this design difference is basically our primary focus is what we will go, what we will do. To test the hypothesis or test the theory, then we have to use the quantitative research design. And on the other hand, if we have no opportunity or we are not getting any established theory or established generalization about any social phenomena, at that moment, we have to collect a bit of information or fragment of information. Then finally, we will generalize by ourselves. Although this generalization may not be universally applicable, rather the context based. This is the main situation where we will think about the quantity and quality differentiation. And another thing is that as a researcher, when to decide our design. Because we in generally starts our research from a primarily a research question. And research question is basically it may come from our observations or any existing literature, research literature gap, or basically it is a gap in the present research. And after identifying the research gap, we start to explore or try to investigate what are the existed explanation about the variable or the phenomena based upon which we are also conducting the same type of research. And by considering the existing explanation, then we pose our own question. And after posing the own question, then we have to decide which way we have to get answer to our question. So, after making a rigorous and getting the basic frame of our hypothesis, then after we can decide our design. Otherwise, we cannot decide our design, because our design has basically 3 or 4 or 5 components. What component? What we are going to do? Are we going to test a theory or test any existing generalization? Are we used to provide some result which will be broadly used by the policymakers? Are we used to just to quantitative data? If we have the readily available all these answer of this question, then we can easily pick out the research design. Okay. So after picking a research design, you have to decide whether you have to go through the quantitative research design or qualitative research design. If by chance you think about the quantitative design, that means you are in a position to test the existing hypothesis or existing theoretical explanation about the social phenomena, or you have to collect a large number of data from a huge number of sample, and you expect your result, whatever result you will find, it will be applicable for a huge policy making process. If you decide all the things, then you have to pick up any quantitative research designs, because really, if we go through the different books of the research books, then we will find there are different types of quantitative designs or different types of quantitative researches. First research, basically we have 3 types of quantitative designs. These quantitative designs has a very link with our research questions. Whether if you are intended to describe any phenomena, then you have to adapt the quantitative research design. Between variables or among variables, then you have to use quantitative design. And number 3 is that if you have to find out the causal relation or causal explanation of any existing phenomena, you have to use the quantitative research design. That means I just told you 3 types of basic objectives. If your objectives is to describe the phenomena, that means the social phenomena is existing naturally, and as a researcher, you will describe or measure the existence of the particular variable or distribution of that particular variable among the unit. Okay, and then your intention is to describe. Describe means how much this attribute has been distributed, and what is the nature of distribution. If your intention is just to describe it, then you have to use a descriptive research, quantitative research design. And basically, for example, I am giving 1 and 2 example where the descriptive quantitative research design is used. one researcher uh, intends to describe the number of students enrolled at the higher education level after completion of higher secondary level. That means his or her intention is to only to describe how much students, enrollment status of the students at higher education level, or how much girl students have enrolled in the higher education, or what is percentage of dropout rates in higher education. If the objectives of the researcher is just to describe or to find out the existence of a particular phenomena or a particular attribute or a particular characteristic within the group, then he has to use the descriptive approach, descriptive design. So, in case of if your objective is to describe it, you use it. And then another type of situations happens when the intention of the researcher is to find out correlation of any two phenomena or any two variable, then he or she will have to use another quantitative research design that is called correlational design. For example, if one intends to find out the relation between the intelligence and achievement, creativity and intelligence, or creativity, or any sort of psychological variable, or psychological variable with the sociological variable, or any sort of variables. Variables means the attribute which varies within the group. And if you find out the 2 or 3 or for any number of variable, and your primary objective is to find association. That means nature of association exists between or among the variables. Then the researcher will another type of quantitative research design that is called correlational design. And in case of correlational design, I will go in detail at the later. In case of correlational design, his or her objectives is to just present the result in terms of the nature of association and the magnitude of the association. That means it may be highly correlated or it is low correlated, and it may be positive, negative correlated. And the correlation may be bivariate correlation. If minimum 2 variables are there, or 2 variables are there, then he may use the statistical technique of bivariate relationship. If he or she is using more than 2 variables or many variables, he may use the multi correlation. So if his or her intention is to find out correlation, mind it one thing. Sometimes with our lots of expectation, or without knowing the appropriateness of using or interpreting the result, we sometimes with a huge ambition, we establish the causal relationship from the correlation. This is the basic guideline given by the expert. Be cautious about this interpretation, how you are interpreting the result of correlation design. So correlation design result will be simply or solely used for indicating what is the nature of relationship exist between variables. Then another type of quantitative research design we generally use when our intention as a researcher is to find out the causal explanation of any phenomena. You may say about the education phenomena, why there is a huge dropout, and you are in a position, you are expecting to find out the possible causal relationship or causal explanation of dropout. Why dropout happens? You may hypothesize, or after a review of literature, you found that one of the causes is the social status, the parental or the family social status is one of the cause of the dropout rate. You may find that the own psychological attribute. You may find out the nature of school, where he has been enrolled. But that is the another factor. In this way, before going to test the causal explanation, you have to hypothesize what is my hypothesis. And after establishing your hypothesis, then you prepare a design. You prepare a design. And this causal explanation will come by, there are two approaches. In generally, we know one type of design, or one design is the experimental design, and another type of design is an ex post facto research design, or the causal comparative design. Both the design will provide you the causal explanation of any phenomena. So, although this is a strict, this is generally researcher face problem about when to use the experimental research design. I have already stated, if your intention is like this, but along with your objectives or your purpose, you have to consider upon the variables to which, or variables based upon which you want to find out the causal connection. Because generally, in the social science, only 2% researchers have attempted to conduct the experimental research to find out the causal explanation. Rather, huge number of research findings are available on the causal explanation, but they have used the ex post facto research or the causal comparative research. Why? Because it come out from the natural science. Natural science means you are using the elements, or you are using the things which are non-living in nature. So it is neither non-ethical, it is both non-ethical and easy for the researcher to manipulate or control the setting, so that he can find out, or she can find out the exact causal explanation of the happenings. But in case of our situation, primarily we are using the human. Okay. So in case of human being, so the very nature of the experimental research is basically three: manipulation, control, and the randomization. So controlling or manipulation, how to control and whom to control, whether the control is ethically and whether the control is feasible, you have to consider, because it may have a detrimental effect upon the human being. For this cause, in many cases, it is not possible for us to control the human attributes of the situations directly linked with the human being. Still then, in some situations, you can, in case of the, for example, if you want to know, for example, you want to, in case of the marketing, in case of any, you are trying to find out whether this particular medicine or the particular medicine or a particular any sort of food or any sorts of things that has a effect upon the behavior. So at that moment, you can make an experimental research. That means, for example, I've been giving another example. I have a question. The question is, this is the one I have a research question. Do Horlicks increases the height? Do Horlicks increases the height? In this situation, if I use experimental research, then primarily I have to prepare two groups of participants. And one group of participants, one group is naturally called the control group, and another group is called the experimental group. And before starting up my research, I have to assure that the group should be equivalent in terms of the variables, that I want to control. That apart from my intended variable or my independent variable, I expect or I should assure that the two groups should have the equal type of distribution in the other variables. Then I have equal. How to make equal? There are different types of procedures. You may, if for example, someone said that the gender is the one of the factor that has a direct link with the growth or height. So how to control the gender? I expect that gender should not be an extra explanation or my intention that may give an erroneous result at the end of my experiment. So before starting of my experiment, what I will do, if the gender is the variable that may influence the height, I will take only one gender, so that at the end of my experiment, no one can say that gender, the result you have claimed, that is not right. Okay, so I may take only one gender, or otherwise I can do one thing, that I can take 10 from the male in each group and 10 from the female each group, so that the gender variable is controlled. And because my intention is to make equal in the two groups, because I have not started yet the experimentation. If someone says the other variable, that means what I will say, the nature of diet. So apart from Horlicks, I will try to see that what type of diet they are taking, and I will try to give them the uniform type of diet, so that at the end of my experiment, no one can say that the explanation is not directly due to, or the variation in the variable is due to your independent variable, rather it is due to the nature of the diet. So in this way, I can use either the matching type of approach to control, or I can use the homogeneous grouping, or I can use a randomized procedure without searching or without matching this variable wise or pairing the variable wise. I can do just like a random, because we have a very faith as a researcher that randomization will try to make it equal or uniform. Along with this, you can also statistically maintain the equivalence of the group by the use of the ANCOVA. ANCOVA is the procedure. That means before starting of the experiment, you can establish that the both group were equal in all respect except independent one. Then what will happen? You will impose or you will provide the particular type of intervention. In my example, the Horlicks is the intervention. Then you can provide Horlicks to a particular, called the experimental group, and you will not provide the group Horlicks to the another group. And after 1 or 2 months, as your plan of your research, then at the end of the providing Horlicks for continuously 2 or 3 months, what you will try to measure the height. Okay, you will try to measure the height, and you will try to compare the height increase between the control group and the experimental group. And in this case, if you find that there is an increase in the height among the experimental group, then you will claim that this increase in the height among the experimental group is happened due to the Horlicks, provider of Horlicks. Okay. In this way, you can conduct the research, experimental research. Okay. Generally, I told you to make it more clear. That means this differentiation you find at the end of the experimentation, and you found the difference, and you claim that the difference is happened solely due to the independent one. and you find that the Horlicks is the cause for increase of the height. Okay. So this experimental design is basically, there are different types of experimental designs. In generally, we found that there are three types of design. One is called the pre-experimental design. Another is called the true experimental design. Another is called the quasi-experimental design. The pre, true, and quasi, this differentiation is basically done on the basis of the nature of control you have done upon the experimental process. In case of the true experimental design, your control is high. You have tried to control every aspect that can threaten your experimental process. The design is like this way. Okay. But in case of the pre-experimental design, the control is very low. Still then, the intention of the experimenter, intention of the researcher is to make an experiment and to give a causal explanation. And see, he or she just do the experiment without control, without sufficient control upon the so-called the extraneous or the intervening variables that may give a erroneous explanation. So, and the last type of experimental design, that is called the quasi-experimental design. The very word quasi means quasi-experimental design means it seems to be experimental but not exactly experimental, because in experimental research generally two types of things we do. One is called the random selection and the random assignment. I will say what is called random selection. And in case of the quasi-experimental design, you have the researcher has no provision for the random assignment because, random selection, because the groups has already formed and the researcher will only assign or provide the treatment to any of the group because the group has already formed. For example, if you want to do this type of research in case of the school students, you go to a school and ask to the headmaster, this sir, I will make an experiment upon your student. Then what I will do, I will randomly select 100 students, divide my experimental, I will assign 50 students to my control group, and suddenly the headmaster will say, sir, you cannot do this type of unethical things because parents or guardians may complain. Rather, you can do another things. We have already formed groups. That means groups, this means you can pick up any section or any class toto and consider it as an experimental group, and you can take another group toto and consider it as a control group. In this way, when you do your experiment using the already existed groups and use and provide your intervention or give your experimental treatment to the particular group, and then after you measure at the end of your experiment, you measure the variation in the result and try to explain the causal connection. This type of design is called the causal comparative reasoning. The other name of causal comparative is called the ex post facto research. Sorry. I just derailed my discussion. This type of called the quasi-experimental design. Okay. Quasi-experimental design. Because in this case, you are just using the already formed group and you have no scope for the random selection. Then the measure, we have a primary dilemma. Which type of design is best one? If the situation permits you, then my suggestion is you took the true experimental design. And if you have a least opportunity. Then just go to the second opportunity, a second preference, that is called the quasi-experimental design. And if you want to give to make a experimental research, then take the pre-experimental design. Because in terms of the efficacy or in terms of the quality means the nature of control or the nature of authentic explanation, you give authentic causal explanation. The true experimental design is the best one, and then after it is the quasi-experimental design, and the lowest efficient one is the pre-experimental design. Okay. And another thing is there, that is the how much variables you are using in your experimental research. Okay. If you are only taking one variable as independent one and another variable as dependent one, then you can pick up any of these pre, true, or the quasi-experimental design. But in case you are using more than two variables, that means there are three independent variables, and at a sudden or at a once you want to make the effect of three variables on particular dependent variable, then you have to use the factorial design. Okay. So this is about the experimental, how much variables you are taking, you are considering within this. Another important thing is there in case of the experimental research, that is the in generally whenever a researcher conducts the experimental research, at that time he should consider about the some of the possible threats or the possible problems that may give you an erroneous result. Erroneous result I am frequently used. Why? What is called erroneous result? Because your primary objective is to give an exact and objective causal explanation of the dependent variable. That means that this change in the dependent variable is happened due to this particular independent one or the 2 and 3 independent one. Apart from this explanation, no other peripheral explanation may hinder your causal explanation. So a researcher should be very much cautious about this. And experts have suggested the possible problems or the possible threats may come from the two ends. One is called the threats related to the internal validity of the research, experimental research, and another one is called the external threat of the experimental research. I will give the just a brief view about this. As we know, the internal validity is a process to assure that whatever things you have planned, the things has gone in that way, no other way. If you have established this, that is called the internal validity. And in the other case, one is called external validity. What is external validity? External validity means your intention as a researcher is to go beyond the experimental setting result to the natural setting, because otherwise you are not doing research. Your research is confined with your laboratory settings. How much your result can be generalized to a large extent? If you establish that Horlicks, for example, you establish that or you found that Horlicks increases the growth, then people will ask, sir, can we use this result in case of the total population? And upon which this result can be applied. So the more application level, the more is the external validity. And the researcher should be very much cautious about these two things. That means the process part, that he has conducted the process as intended in a right way, and his or her result can be generalized up to a large extent. Otherwise it has no meaning at all, because the experiment is fruitless. Okay. So in case of the internal validity or the external validity, there are lots of may decreases or that may challenge your internal validity. That is called internal invalidity, create internal invalidity, or external validity. Like, for example, there are lots of, I will give just 2 and 3 or 4. One is called testing. For example, I'm just giving the example. Think about a design where where there are two designs in any experiment. One is called control group, another is called experimental group. When you test before starting of the experiment, you test one group and not the other group. Then the other group or the group which has been tested, they will psychologically think that something the researcher intended to measure upon ourselves. So their efficacy or so their response level will be more than his actual level. This is one type of threat the researcher should be. And another, there are lots of things that is called history. History means if you lengthen your research for more days, then suddenly if the natural changes in the height happens, that means you cannot say that the change in the height is due to Horlicks. Rather, it is the natural process of growth because you have conducted research for the 1 year or 2 year. So be serious, be cautious about the things that may give you the erroneous result. Another thing is called the mortality. Mortality means suddenly if some participant switch off or give up from your group, that means they may left from your group. So what will happen? That you have equated the group, but suddenly one of the students or one of the participant who has more height, then he left the group. So what will happen? It will happen that that group is become unequal with the other group. Okay. So there are a huge number of factors a researcher should very much serious when thinking about the research design. Okay. Exactly in the true experimental design, as I have seen, although there are huge number of sub-designs within, but in case of the Solomon 4 group design, maximum threats has been controlled. If you adapt or if you use the Solomon 4 group design, that means you look at any research book, you will find that there is a Solomon 4 group design. There are 4 groups: 2 group experimental, 2 group control group, and 1 group is pre-tested. Another 1 group from the control is pre-tested. Another from the experimental that is pre-tested. Okay. In this way, as far as possible, maximum threats has been controlled. So this is the situation. This is about the different types of experimental research. But one thing is clear: as a researcher, your intention, whenever you are doing a experimental research, you should think that I have come from a social phenomena. I have come from the society, and my result will be applicable upon the human being. But I am conducting the research in an artificial situation or just like a laboratory situation, because all the controlling is primarily done in case of the laboratory situation. You have controlled this scenario, but from your controlling situation, you provide a result and you expect that result will applied in a natural setting. So be cautious whenever you are doing experimental research. Another type of quantitative research design is there, where you can also get the called the causal connection. But this, in case of this causal explanation, you are not manipulating the independent variable. You are not controlling the situation. What? You are finding the cause from the existed variance and comparing between the groups. For example, I am giving you one example. If your intention was to know whether cigarette smoking causes cancer, so it is not possible for you to divide 2 groups of participants. To one is experimental group, another is called control group, and give cigarette to one group that is called experimental group, and not give cigarette to the another group, that is called control group. And after 1 year, 2 years, you measure whether the lung cancer has been happened in case of the experiment. You cannot do this. This is ethically, it is not permissible. But this type of research can be, this type of research can be conducted in another way. What? This approach is called the causal, that is called the ex post facto research or the causal comparative research. So what you can do, you can start from the effect. You have to pick up two groups. One group who has cancer and another group who has non-cancer. Okay? Then two groups are your comparative groups. And you try to compare the every means hypothesized causes within the group. For example, after reading lots of literature, you find that nature of food may be the cause of cancer. And you find that cigarette is a cause of cancer. So what you will see? You try to collect data from the group who has been already affected in cancer. What type of food you have taken just within the 2 years? They will say, I have taken normal food like rice, dal, chicken, or any sort of foods. And you ask you collect the data from the same type of data. Okay. Although these two terms are not exactly applied to the causal comparative, that is called a control group and the experimental group. You are not controlling, but rather a comparative group. Two groups, which has the one group which has the effect has been happened, and another group where the effect has not found. Okay, so you find that in case of both groups, the food chart are more or less same, except one cause that found near the particular group who have already cancer, that is the cigarette. And comparing and identifying the unique one, or find out the particular factor, that is a particular element that is present in case of the cancerous people or the people who have already who are in cancer, and not present in case of the people who are cancer, then you will claim that cigarette smoking causes the cancer. In this way, we can also do lots of research. For example, whenever we are doing research in general in case of the education society, we want to know the
Sir, audible? Yes, sir. Bandwidth problem is there.
possible to manipulate the attributes which is already present within the with the participant. You want to know their effect upon an independent variable. You can do the causal comparative research. You can first create the group, one from the male, another from the female, and compare whether that particular things has happened in case of the female or not present in case of the male, or in the race like situation, the same thing may happen. So these are generally the general style for making causal comparative research. And in generally, in case of the social science or in case of the education, the causal are post facto research. The things has already been happened, that is called ex post facto research. And the researcher wants to know its cause. Without starting from the cause, he or she starts from the effect and compare the effect between the two groups and find out the cause. So this way, huge number of about causal explanation is found in the social science in the using this type of approach. So then my view is that although there are different types of scenario, it may be descriptive one, or it may be correlational design, or it may be experimental design, or it may be causal comparative design. The objectives wise, there are these four major classifications. But in general, whenever we do research, the objectives of the purpose of the research is not specific to particular type of explanation. What they will do? You simultaneously wants to describe the phenomena. At the same time, you want to find out the correlation. Or in some cases, you want to know the effect. What to do? What to do? Shall we stick to the particular design? No. No. In these cases, you can phrase it. You can use the descriptive design. That means, for example, you are making a research upon physical variables and their effect upon the achievement. Okay, a very simple example. In general, this type of research are found in education. The effect of intelligence and creativity upon the achievement. What you will do? First, in generally that happens, we try to describe how much, what is the distribution pattern of intelligence among the group, what is the pattern of distribution pattern of the creativity within the group. You start your research from describe the phenomena. So what you will do? You are using the descriptive design. Then what happened? Your another intention is to find out the relation between intelligence and creativity, or intelligence with achievement, or creativity with achievement. What you will do? You are also using the correlation design. Another thing is that your third objective is to find out whether the two predictor or the two variables will significantly affect the achievement or not. You are also using the cause-effect relationship. Okay. So nothing to bother. So we cannot, you cannot be very precise about using the design, because the selection of the designs is depend purely upon, I have told two major things should keep in mind in the research. That what I am going to do. Am I going to test an existing explanation, existing theory? Then you decide the design. It may be quantitative. If you are not in a place to test, then you do the qualitative design. And within the quantitative, you use any type of EA. Another thing is that there are some nature, what are the basic style of collection of the data? There are, in generally, the quantitative research is very much structured and more structured. Structured means, in case of the quantitative design, already we measure the data in the numerical term. That means any data you find, you will try to convert it in number. 1 minute. That means you are using the number. And in generally, in case of the quantitative research designs, it may be the experimental, it may be the causal comparative, it may be descriptive, or it may be correlation. Generally, questionnaire, structured interview, this type of, or the different type of scales where the attributes can be quantitatively expressed or measured. So the things we use generally these type of tools in case of the quantitative research. And our primary approach to after finding the data, that is to convert in the number and to analyze it with the help of statistics. The statistics you may use either the descriptive statistics, whose main function is to simply describe the phenomena, or in case of you want to know the variation, you may use the inferential statistics. Inferential statistics are in general used to claim that my result is how much can be applied to population. That means you are to infer that the result found from this sample can be applied to the population. And when this claim will be depend upon your significance level or probability level. In generally, in case of social science, we use either the 5% significance level or the 0.1% of significance level. Okay. All these things are within the quantitative design, not in the qualitative design. If you are using qualitative design, you will not find this significance level, this inferential statistics, you may use merely descriptive statistics in case of the qualitative research. Statistics in case of the qualitative research, because in this type of statistics is purely confined with the quantitative research, because your intention was to generalize or apply your result to a broad area or a huge number of population. So whenever you are trying to establish that my result will be generalizable, you are using the inferential statistics, and you are claiming that this result can be applied with the 5% level of confidence or the 1% level of confidence. Oh, sorry, 99% of confidence level or the 95% of confidence. Okay. So these are the basically the style of how to. And another part, I will just give a brief idea. That is what statistics generally we use. If your intention is to describe, you may describe it in terms of the frequency. And that particular phenomena is happened how many times, or you can show the group mean, central tendency, mean, median, mode, or you can describe it in terms of the variability, standard deviation, and sort of rank, etc. Because you are using the descriptive design, and your intention is to describe the phenomena. Okay. But in case you are using the correlational research, correlation design, and your intention is to correlate between variables, what to do? If you have variables, you have to use the bivariate correlation. And whenever you are using bivariate correlation, you have to parametric statistic or you are using non-parametric statistic, because selection of the parametric statistic and non-parametric statistics depend upon the nature of the data, how the data is distributed. Is it normally distributed or not? In which scale the data is found? Is it found in nominal scale and ordinal scale? If it is found in nominal or nominal scale, you have to use the non-parametric scale. Although you are using correlation, you have to use the product moment rank difference correlation. In case you are using in case your parametric situation has been satisfied and you want to know the correlation between the two variables, you use the parametric correlational statistics. That is the Spearman, product moment correlation. Okay, product moment correlation is the parametric one, and the rank difference method, Spearman's, that is the non-parametric one. So you have to be very serious about this thing. When to see, if you are using more than two variables, what to do? If you are using more than two variables and you want to know their correlation, what to do? You have to do one thing. That this is the main thing. Either there are lots of statistical correlation procedure. You have to select whether to use the parametric one onto non-parametric one. Okay. And if you want to find out the difference between the groups, generally there are many groups within your research design, and you want to know the difference. The same thing happened. And you have to first find out what is the nature of data. If the data nature satisfies to the parameters of the parametric statistics, use it. Use the t-tests. If your data is not satisfied with this parametric one, use the chi-square one. Okay. And if there is more than two groups, what to do? You use the, in case of parametric statistics, use the ANOVA. In case of the non-parametric statistics, use Candler's differential methods. So these are the different type of statistical procedures used during the quantitative analysis. But whenever you use the statistics or you select the statistics, you should be very serious whether to use parametric one or to non-parametric one. The basic question is how, why to select? Because your intention is finding about any result, the result will be applied to a broad situation. So you are using inferential statistics. Okay. And whether the inferential statistic fulfill the conditions that is specified for the use of parametric statistics or not, you have to check out. So the hello. Okay, will I stop here?
So you can complete, like you finish what you were saying. Don't end abruptly. Just wrap it off. Yes.
Someone is saying something, so I.
No. I think that was just a background noise from one of the participants or something. Yeah.
Okay.
You continue and yeah, you can just.
Okay. So these are the basically the selection of the statistics and the analysis procedure and the generally the tools to be used. So this is about the quantitative research design. And at the end of my discussion, I will say that the quantitative design, although it is highly used in case of our social science, it has some advantages. Also, it has some disadvantages. Advantages, that doing the quantitative research is very easy because you have ready-made tools and you can collect data without going to the site. Either you can mail to the questionnaire or you can make a telephonic interview and collect data. And you just use some of the software and analyze the data. Okay, so this way, conducting a quantitative research is very much easy in comparison to the qualitative work. Because whenever you are using the qualitative research designs, it is a mandatory condition that the researcher should be present not only physically but also emotionally within the situation. Because his or her intention is to contextualize the result. Because his or her intention is not to generalize the result. He or she was expecting that my result will be, although it will be applied to the particular group, but it should be a right type of explanation, right type of exploration. Generally, in case of the qualitative research, our so this is the main advantages, and main disadvantages is that another thing is that generally the researcher bias is less in case of the quantitative research, because whenever you are collecting data, you are not collecting, you are using the help of the tools or techniques. So, but in case of the qualitative research, although you are using some tools and techniques, but primary data collection tool is you himself. So there is a very chance that your bias may affect the process. So these are the advantages, and some disadvantages of quantitative research is there. It is also very much expensive because you have to collect huge number of data. So collecting huge number of data, you have to spend a lot of money. You have to prepare a question, you have to validate it, you have to go to the expert, all these things. And generally, these are the disadvantages, private disadvantages of content design. And whenever we will do all the things, we should keep in mind all the things. So thank you. This is all about my discussion of the content design.
Thank you so much, sir, for your erudite lecture. It was extremely pertinent and comprehensive. We will now quickly take, I think, one question I saw on the chat box, that is from Professor Lau from Malaysia, and she was asking which would be the best situation to use mixed method approach. mixed method approach, best situation?
Thank you for asking these questions. It is my pleasure. There is another type of design that is called mixed method design. Exactly. Some situations are there when your research question cannot satisfy either to describe or to correlate or to causal explanation. Along with this, you have to find out something more than that. That means generally mixed method designs are appropriate to the situation when some part of your objectives fulfills these types of things, either to or explain, and some part of your question is to explore. That means point of view, being a comprehensive research, and because only selection of the because you are doing such type of researcher, not only you want to know, not only you want to describe or to explain the existing situation, but also to know in detail from their point of view. Increases the validity of your research, but also it will provide a more scenario, more situations, or more evidences. It will also validate your research. So I think these are this is the situation where you can, it depends upon your research questions or your basic objectives. If your objective, yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Sir, thank you so much for joining us today. We are really grateful for your time, and we would now move on to our next program. With this, we come to the end of the technical session for today. It is indeed been a wonderful week of enlightening deliberations and meaningful exchange. I hope the sessions have helped our participants to develop the much needed conceptual clarity and practical knowledge to undertake quality research in their respective field of. After the pretty hectic week of intensive and rigorous back-to-back session, it is now time to unwind and immerse ourselves in some recreational activity. This small cultural program is an humble effort on the part of the organizers to provide a platform to our participants to showcase their inherent talents. So without any further delay, let us begin our cultural program. I will request our IQSC coordinator, Dr. Mitali Gangopadhyay, to please take charge of the proceedings.
Thank you so much. Dear participants, we welcome you all to this very brief cultural event that we are going to present now. I'll share with you here that our college, Mrinalini Datta Mahavidyapith, has an excellent, enthusiastic, cultural subcommittee, and we have very, almost the junior-most teachers of our college in this committee who have a wonderful sense of aesthetics. And let me tell you, dear participants, it was their idea to have a cultural exchange among the participants coming from the various states of India in this FDP. So here we are with a brief cultural program. We have recorded certain performances, and certain performances were sent to us by the participants. So what we will do, since we have around 3 to 4 performances, I will request the host to help me play them. The first performance is by Upakatha De, Faculty, Department of English. She is going to present a bhajan to you. This is a recorded performance. So I shall request Upakatha to share her screen and share the song with us. Over to you, Upakatha. Upakatha, are you there?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm trying to share the screen. Just give me a few minutes.
Yes, certainly.
সরি ম্যাম, আসছে না। কাইন্ডলি স্টপ করে আমি একবার ট্রাই করছি।
Upakatha, you're not. Can I request the host to try once again? Yeah.
বলছে শোনা যাচ্ছে না, দেখা যাচ্ছে না।
আচ্ছা আমি ট্রাই করছি। জাস্ট
Sujan, if we don't have the video, can we at least have the audio?
Yes, ma'am. Try to play.
Sujan, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sujan,
Yes, sir.
Sujan,
Yes, sir.
it was told to you that you will come to talk to me. Okay, fine. Tell me how can I share?
Sir, I try to share. Your screen.
Tell me how can I share?
Okay, sir. Click on share content.
Yes.
There is an option.
Oh, just a minute. Now, can you people see this?
Shows Upakatha there
It's
is
coming.
Yes, but we can't hear. We can't hear. We can see.
Sujan, what can I do to share the audio also? Pardon?
Sir, please play it.
Yeah, I am playing it.
No, sir. Some audio not coming.
That's exactly I am telling. Perhaps I have to do something else.
Okay, sir. I am trying to share from myself.
Okay, let Sujan try. Let Sujan try.
Okay, ma'am, please. Trying.
A very warm evening to all of you.
Ma'am, audible?
Yes, it is audible. Audible and visible.
Thank you.
Carry on.
On the other side of the screen. We have reached the last leg of the 7-day online international faculty development program. Hope it has been an enriching experience for all of you.
Make it.
A very warm evening to all of you present on the other side of the screen. We have reached the last leg of the 7-day online international faculty development program. Hope it has been an enriching experience for all of you. With your support, your criticism and your appreciation, we expect that we would be able to reach novel heights even in future. As we embark remark on the cultural side of our FDP, I feel very tempted, being a student of literature, to quote the title of a drama by the famous dramatist William Shakespeare, "All's well that ends well." With the pandemic engulfing us, crisis all around, this is a plea, a prayer to the spirits, to the heavenly being, to endow the process of healing on us very soon. A Meera bhajan for all of you. Jo tum toro piya, main nahi toru, to sukrit tori Krishna, kaun sang jodu, main kaun sang jodu. Jo tum toro piya, main nahi toru, to sukrit tori Krishna, kaun sang jodu, main kaun sang jodu. Jo tum toro piya, तुम भले तरुवर, मैं भई पतिया, तुम भय सरोवर, मैं भई मछिया, तुम भय तरुवर, मैं भई पतिया, तुम भय सरोवर, मैं भई मछिया, तुम भय गिरिवर, मैं भई चारा, तुम भय गिरिवर, मैं भई चारा, तुम भय चंदा, तुम भय चंदा, मैं भई चकोरा। जो तुम तोरो पिया, मैं नहीं तोरू, तो सुकृत तोरी कृष्ण, कौन संग जोड़ू, मैं कौन संग तुम तोरो पिया, तुम भय मोती प्रभु, हम भय धागा, तुम भय सोना, हम भय सुहागा, तुम भय मोती प्रभु, हम भय धागा, तुम भय सोना, हम भय सुहागा। बाई मीरा के प्रभु, ब्रिज के वासी, बाई मीरा के प्रभु, प्रभु प्रभु प्रभु, बाई मीरा के प्रभु, ब्रिज के वासी, तुम मेरे ठाकुर, मैं तेरी दासी। जो तुम तोरो पिया, मैं नहीं तोरू, तो सुकृत तोरी कृष्ण, कौन संग जोड़ूं मैं, कौन संग जोड़ूं, जो तुम तोरो पिया। Passing on to the baton to my next performer. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Upakatha, for that mesmerizing performance. I'm sure it has imbibed us with a sense of divine peace and happiness. Thank you once again. I shall request our host now to play the performances, the recorded performances that we have received from various participants. So, Shujan, can you please play one by one all the recorded, performances that we have received?
Okay, let's try.
Dear friend, dear friends, today I am going to sing a small Malayalam song. This song was composed by an eminent scholar. The context in which this song was written is based on the problematic situations that the Kerala state was encountering during the year 2018 and 19. You know that owing to Nipah virus attack and also on account of the heavy rains, high winds and heavy floods, and the waterlogged areas of Kerala were very much devastated, and the people, the whole state was adversely affected, and people become extremely tense, and all of them were in a pensive mode. In order to overcome their difficulties, to regain their confidence, this song was sung and it became
Some problem, just 1 minute to check.
Shujan, will it be easier if you just play the audio and not, make the video visible? Will that be easier?
Okay, just try.
Dear friends, today I am going to sing a small Malayalam song. This song was composed by an eminent scholar. The word
Audible, ma'am?
Yes, it is audible.
Okay.
Dear friends, today I am going to sing a small Malayalam song by an eminent scholar. The context in which this song was written is based on the problematic situations that the Kerala state was encountering during the year 2018 and 19. You know that it also on account of heavy rains, high winds, and heavy floods, and the waterlogged areas of Kerala were very much devastated, and the people, the whole state was adversely affected, and people become extremely tense, and all of them were in a pensive mood. In order to overcome their difficulties and regain their confidence. This song was sung and it became viral and it was disseminated throughout the stage. Now I am going to sing that song. ഒരു മഴയും തോരാതിരുന്നിട്ടില്ല, ഒരു കാറ്റും പടരാതിരുന്നിട്ടില്ല, ഒരു രാഗം പുലരാതിരുന്നിട്ടില്ല, ഒരു നോവും കുറയാതിരുന്നിട്ടില്ല. തിരമാലയിൽ ഈ ചെറുതോണി, തിരമാലയിൽ ഈ ചെറുതോണി, അമരത്തന്നരികെ അവനുള്ളതായി ഒരു മഴയും തോരാതിരുന്നിട്ടില്ല, ഒരു കാറ്റും അടങ്ങാതിരുന്നിട്ടില്ല. മഞ്ഞും മഴയും പൊള്ളുന്ന വെയിലും എല്ലാം നാഥന്റെ സമ്മാനമാണ്. എൻ ജീവിതത്തിൽ നന്നായി വരണം എന്നർക്കു കാതൽ ഒരുക്കുന്നതാണ്. ഒരു മഴയും തോരാതിരുന്നിട്ടില്ല, ഒരു കാറ്റും അടങ്ങാതിരുന്നിട്ടില്ല, ഒരു രാവും പുലരാതിരുന്നിട്ടില്ല, ഒരു നോവും കുറയാതിരുന്നിട്ടില്ല. കല്ലും മുള്ളും കൊള്ളുന്ന വഴിയിൽ എൻ പാദമിടറി ഞാൻ വീണു പോയാൽ എന്നെ തോളിൽ വഹിക്കുന്നവൻ. എൻ പാദമിടറി ഞാൻ വീണു പോയാൽ എന്നെ തോളിൽ വഹിക്കുന്നവൻ. ഒരു മഴയും തോരാതിരുന്നിട്ടില്ല, ഒരു കാറ്റും അടങ്ങാതിരുന്നിട്ടില്ല, ഒരു രാവും പുലരാതിരുന്നിട്ടില്ല, ഒരു നോവും കുറയാതിരുന്നിട്ടില്ല. തിരമാലയിൽ ഈ ചെറുതോണിയിൽ അമരത്തന്നരികെ അവനുള്ളതായി ഒരു മഴയും തോരാതിരുന്നിട്ടില്ല, ഒരു കാറ്റും അടങ്ങാതിരുന്നിട്ടില്ല. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. I hope you enjoyed the song and I will disseminate the meaning of this. It's a very meaningful song and I'm going to send you a write-up regarding this particular song and it was lyrics also.
Thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful song. It was not very clearly audible, but what really is important, the warmth with which the song was sung. So thank you so much once again. Shujan, can we go to the next video recording or audio recording, whatever it is?
Try to share video.
Yes.
Myself, Aurobindo Kalkatari from SS College, Hailakandi, Assam.
Audible, ma'am?
It is audible and visible. Carry on.
I thank the organizer for giving me the opportunity to participate in this 7 days international workshop on the theme research methodology. Now, as a part of cultural program, I am going to present an Assamese view song. Let us start. Bohagor bihute koko phul phulile okuliye binale dalot bohagahe mane dhul pe pabojale oi epak নেনাচিম কেনেকৈ থাকো ওতে তেলি পতিয়া চিৰাকুৱাইছিলা মন লগাইছিলা ৰহেন বিহুৰে বতৰ বিহুৰে বতর সবাই একসাথে ওঠে তেলি পতিয়া শিরা কুয়াইছিলা শিরা কুয়াইছিলা মন লগাইছিলা রহেন্দ্র ইজা বিহুরে বতর বিহুরে বতর এইজনী ছোৱালী বৰ মৰম লাগিছে এইজনী ছোৱালী বৰ মৰম লাগিছে মাতো মাতো লাগিছে মাতো মাতো লাগিছে বিহুৰে ঐ তলিতে পাৰ বগাই বগাই চেনিমাইন কপৌফুলানিছো পাৰ বগাই বগাই চেনিমাইন কপৌফুলানিছো ও চেনিমাইন খোপাতেন গুটি দিম বলি মাৰা কবি আই চেনিমাইন বিহুলৈ আহিবি মাৰা কবি আই চেনিমাইন বিহুলৈ আহিবি চেৰেকী আনিম গৈ বোলে অ নব ভাত ৰান্ধিব জাননে অ নব ফুৰি ৰুব জাননে অ নব ভাত ৰান্ধিব জাননে অ নব ফুৰি ৰুব জাননে আমার ঘৰৰ এইজনী ভাত ৰান্ধিব নাজানে আমার ঘৰৰ এইজনী ভুই ৰুবকে নাজানে অ নবৌ মাছ মাৰিব জাননে অ নবৌ কাপোৰ বুব জাননে অ নবৌ মাছ মাৰিব জাননে অ নবৌ কাপোৰ বুব জাননে আমার ঘৰৰ এইজনী মাছ মাৰিব নাজানে আমার ঘৰৰ এইজনী কাপোৰ বুবকে নাজানে ও পিৰিতি 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 মোৰে বৰে মই পিৰিতি 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 মোৰে বুবতি নৈ পিৰিতি 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 মোৰে জীৱন থাকিব মোৰে জীৱন থাকিব ও পিৰিতি 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 মোৰে বুবতি নৈ পিৰিতি 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 মোৰে বুবতি নৈ পিৰিতি 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 মোৰে জীৱন থাকিব মোৰে জীৱন থাকিব মোৰে জীৱন থাকিব মন থেংক ইউ
Thank you so much, Aurobindo sir. You have really created an ambience which is full of jubilance. And it shows that language can never be a barrier. Ultimately, it is the spirit of the mind, of the soul that wins over. Thank you once again. Over to Shujon again for the next performance.
নমস্কার ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ফ্যাকাল্টি ডেভেলপমেন্ট প্রোগ্রাম উপলক্ষে
Shujon, can we have the video too?
Just wait.
ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ফ্যাকাল্টি ডেভেলপমেন্ট প্রোগ্রাম উপলক্ষে আমার একটি ছোট্ট নিবেদন। এই আকাশে আমার মুক্তি আলোয় আলোয় আমার মুক্তি ধুলায় ধুলায় ঘাসে ঘাসে এই আকাশে আমার মুক্তি আলোয় আলোয় দেহ মনের সুদূর পারে হারিয়ে ফেলি আপনারে দেহ মনের সুদূর পারে হারিয়ে ফেলি আপনারে গানের সুরে আমার মুক্তি ঊর্ধ্বে ভাসে এই আকাশে আমার মুক্তি আলোয় আলোয়, আমার মুক্তি সর্বজনের মনের মাঝে। দুঃখ বিপদ তুচ্ছ করা কঠিন কাজে, আমার মুক্তি সর্বজনের মনের মাঝে। দুঃখ বিপদ কঠিন কাজে, আত্মের মন জ্বালা বিশ্বধারার যোগশালা, আত্মহোমের মন জ্বালা, জীবন যেন দিয়াহুতি দিয়া এই আকাশে আমার মুক্তি আলোয় আলোয়। নমস্কার।
Thank you so much for a song which is very, very close to the heart of all Bengalis, I believe. Despite the fact that we do not know your name, dear participant, but I think it has touched all our hearts. We have another performance from the same lady. Shujan, can you please play the recitation that she has sent us?
Yes, I try.
চার্চের এক যে ছিল আপন ভোলা কিশোর। স্কুল তার ভালো লাগতো না, সহ্য হতো না পড়াশুনোর ঝামেলা। আমাদের চলতে লেখাপড়া সে শিখল না কোনো কালেই, অথচ সে ছাড়িয়ে গেল সারা দেশের সবটুকু পাণ্ডিত্যকে। কেমন করে? সে প্রশ্ন আমাকে করো না। বড় মানুষের মধ্যে গরিবের মতো মানুষ, তাই বড় হয়ে সে বড় মানুষ না হয়ে মানুষ হিসেবে হলো অনেক বড়। কেমন করে? সে প্রশ্ন আমাকে করো না। গান সাধার বাঁধা আইন সে মানেনি, অথচ স্বর্গের বাগান থেকে সে চুরি করে আনলো তোমার আমার গান। কবি সে, ছবি আঁকার অভ্যাস ছিল না ছোট বয়সে, অথচ শিল্পী বলে সেই পেল শ্রেষ্ঠ শিল্পীদের সম্মান। কেমন করে? সে প্রশ্ন আমাকে করো না। মানুষ হলো না বলে যে ছিল তার দিনের আক্ষেপের বিষয়, অনেক দিন অনেক বিদ্রূপ যাকে করেছে আহত, সেই একদিন চমক লাগিয়ে করল দিগ্বিজয়। কেউ তাকে বলল বিশ্বকবি, কেউ বা কবিগুরু। উত্তর দক্ষিণ পূর্ব পশ্চিম চার দিক করল প্রণাম। তাই পৃথিবী আজও অবাক হয়ে তাকিয়ে বলছে, কেমন করে? সে প্রশ্ন আমাকে করো না। এ প্রশ্নের জবাব তোমাদের মতো আমিও খুঁজি। নমস্কার।
Thank you so much, Rohita Shaha. I think it's your name. You've put it on the chat box. Thank you for so enthusiastically participating in our cultural program. We are really very grateful to you. Shujan, do we have any more video clips?
No.
Recorded performance. Okay. In that case, dear participants, we come to the end of our cultural program. It is already 9 p.m. at night.
Ma'am, I think one live performance is
Okay.
there.
Okay. If someone wants to perform live, Shujan, can you help that person to come on stream?
Please unmute. Please.
Is it Moushumi Dash who wants to come live?
Yes.
Wants to perform live? Yes. So Moushumi, can we hear you and see you? Please unmute yourself.
Musa madam.
Yes, Moushumi is here. We're waiting
Can
for
you
your
hear?
performance, Moushumi.
I think. Madam, please unmute yourself.
Moushumi, can you hear us?
No, madam. I think she's.
Somehow she cannot connect us, I believe.
Musa, you are here. Unmute kore unmute. Madam, please unmute yourself. Okay.
Moushumi, please unmute yourself and say a few words. We are waiting for your performance. Can you hear us, Moushumi?
Yeah, I am here.
Okay.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please go ahead.
Madam, if possible, please turn on your video. It's mute, sir. Lokman sir.
প্রথমে আমি যেটা চাই সেটা হচ্ছে মিতালি দিকে আমার হার্টিয়েস্ট কি বলবো ফিলিংস লাভ অ্যান্ড অ্যাফেকশন, কারণ মিতালিদির কাছেই আমি একটা সময় পড়তে গেছি, এতদিন পরে ওনাকে দেখতে পাবো এটাও ভাবিনি। তো আজকে এই অপরচুনিটিস আমাকে দেওয়ার জন্য আমি ভীষণ ভাবেই আপ্লুত। তো আজকে আমি যেটা করতে চাইছি সেটা হচ্ছে একটা নজরুল গীতি, নজরুলের লেখা একটি গান। জাগো নারী জাগো বন্দী শিখা, জাগো নারী জাগো বন্দী শিখা, জাগো স্বাহা জাগো স্বাহা, সীমান্তে রক্ত টিকা, জাগো নারী জাগো বন্দী শিখা। দিকে দিকে মিলিত লেলিহান রসনা, নিচে চলয়ন মা তেনে দিক বসনা। দিকে দিকে মিলিত লেলিহান রসনা, নিচে চলয়ন মা দিনে দিক বসনা। জাগো হত ভাগিনী ধর্ষিতা নাগিনী, বিষদহন তেজে জাগো দাহিকা, জাগো নারী জাগো বন্দী শিখা, জাগো নারী জাগো বন্দী শিখা, জাগো স্বাহা জাগো স্বাহা, সীমান্তে রক্ত টিকা, জাগো নারী জাগো বন্দী শিখা। ধু ঝুলে ওঠে ঘুমায়িত অগ্নি, জাগো মাতা কন্যা জয়া ভগ্নি। ধু ঝুলে ওঠে ঘুমায়িত অগ্নি, জাগো মাতা কন্যা বধূ জয়া ভগ্নি। পতিত ধারিণী স্বর্গ স্খলিতা, জাহ্নবী সমবেগে জাগো পদতলে ধারিণী স্বর্গ স্খলিতা জাহ্নবী সমবেগে জাগপদ তুলিতা মেঘে অনুবালা বজ্র জ্বালা বিশ্ব বিজয়ী জাগ জয়ন্তিকা জাগো নারী জাগো বন্ধু শিখা জাগো নারী জাগো বন্ধু শিখা জাগো স্বাহা জাগো স্বাহা সীমান্তে রক্ত টিকা জাগো নারী জাগো বন্ধু শিখা জাগো নারী জাগো বন্ধু শিখা জাগো নারী জাগো বন্ধু শিখা। Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Moushumi. It was an excellent performance, such a melodious performance. We wish we could also see you, have a glimpse of you. But anyway, it is your voice that really touched us. I think with that, we come to the end of the cultural program. And I shall ask Rishita to take over. Over to you, Rishita.
With this, we come to the end of our beautiful cultural program. I thank all our performers for being sporty enough to come forward and participate on such a short notice. They all truly deserve a big round of applause for their stellar performances. We have now reached the final leg of our 7-day faculty development program. It is almost time for the curtains to fall. But before that, we will ask our dear organizers to please say a few words. I will now request Dr. Mitali Gangopadhyay, our IQSE coordinator and joint organizer, to please share her final thoughts and experience with us. Over to you, Mitali Di.
Thank you so very much, Rishita. After such a medley of colorful performances, anything that I say would sound really prosaic and boring. So I would really restrict myself to two important things that I think it needed to be said. The first thing that I would like to say is what really helped us to organize this program is the 7-day long journey is basically the team effort. And this team effort has kept us united all through the program, and it will always keep us united even after the program. Your spontaneous participation, your positive responses, they have all encouraged us and will further encourage us to organize many more FDPs in future. But let me tell you, dear participants, this first FDP will always remain very, very special to us. Despite the technical glitches, despite the back-to-back 3 lectures, sometimes maybe somewhere not very audible, sometimes maybe somewhere not very clearly visible, but yet I know that you have had all the forbearance to go through the 7-day program, and you have made us feel happy, made us feel proud, and made us feel successful. So it is because of you that today we feel happy and successful. And I would also like to share with you here that to support this endeavor of ours, we had the prestigious collaborators of one, is Faculty Development Center from Mizoram University, the other Department of Education, Jadavpur University. Thanks to both the esteemed collaborators. I would also like to tell you here and share with you, this is something I'm sure all the teachers, students, and the non-teaching staff of MDM would like to believe in, and they would like to share with you here. I'm just being one of their representatives. That one person who has always remained ever supporting, ever guiding, ever present in all our efforts is none other but our respected principal, Sir Dr. Apurva Bandyopadhyay. Sir, I know you are still present on this platform, though you are silent, but let me tell you, sir, it is your silence that also speaks volumes. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us, for helping us, guiding us in this 7-day long journey. I know from tomorrow you will all feel rather free in the evening because you will not have the 3 lectures, occupying your time and space. But I'm also sure at the same time that the anxiety of COVID-19 will come back to you. So I would like to end this, program, or rather my talk, with a very small poem that I have chosen. And I found that this poem has some positive vibes that will help us to live life better. This is a poem called All is Life. And this poem is by Ruskin Bond, an author, a poet known to all of us. I'll just read out the poem to you. Whether by accident or design, we are here. Let's make the most of it, my friend. Yes, our pursuit. Spread a little sunshine here and there. Enjoy the flowers, the breeze, rivers, sea and sky, mountains and tall waving trees. Greet the children passing by. Talk to the old folk. Be kind, my friend. Hold on in times of pain and strife. Until death comes, remember, all is life. Thank you so very much. Over to you, Rishita.
Thank you so much, Mitali Di. Now we will request the organizing secretary of this faculty development program, Dr. Dilip Kumar Mondol, to please give his vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Namaskar. Good evening.
Dilip, you're
আমি কি ফোন করি স্যারকে?
are audible, Dilipda, but not very clear. Can you be a little clear and louder? Is it possible?
I presume his voice is echoing. That is the problem. If something can be done about that, his voice is echoing.
Shujan, can you help him?
No, I can call him. So, কলে নেব ফোন করে?
Dilipda, can you speak again? Let us see if you are still echoing.
Hello. Am I audible clearly?
You are audible, but you are echoing. Can you?
Madam, ভিডিওটা অন করে কলে নিন।
I don't think you need to use the microphone. Don't use it. Don't use the microphone. Don't use the microphone. Just speak without the microphone.
Am I audible clearly?
You are. You are.
ওকে, মাইকটা নিচে নামান মুখ থেকে। হ্যাঁ।
The microphone.
Okay.
বল।
Okay. Namaskar. Good evening. I consider it a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks to all the dignitaries and participants who have witnessed it as a memorable and successful 7-day international level online faculty development program on methodology of research in social sciences latest innovation. So I express my deep and hearty gratitude to respected Srimati Chandrima Bhattacharya, Honorable President, governing body of our college. He is also the Minister in charge of the Government of West Bengal. Respected Professor Suranjan Das, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Jadavpur University. Respected Professor Bashav Chaudhary, Honorable Vice Chancellor, West Bengal State University. Respected Professor Rita Sinha, Professor, West Bengal University of Teachers Training, Education, Planning and Administration, and former Dean, University of Calcutta, for providing us with all possible logistic support and guidance towards organizing this faculty development program. I like to thank to express my sincere thanks to our respected principal sir, Dr. Apurva Bandopadhyay, the dynamic and flexible person in all academic matters, for gracing this faculty development program. His presence today in this faculty development program has immensely enhanced its importance. We are extremely grateful to you for your insightful address. I am happy to express vote of thanks to respected Professor Loknath Mishra, Joint Convener and Director, Faculty Development Center, Mizoram University, and respected Dr. Mukti Sinha, Joint Convener and Head, Department of Education, Jadavpur University, for providing their academic collaboration and valuable comments in time and help towards the improvement of the quality of this faculty development program. I am thankful to respected Professor Abhijit Kumar Pal, Head, Department of Education, West Bengal State University, for gracing the faculty development program with his presence and valuable lecture. I sincerely thank to respected Dr. Mitali Gangopadhyay, Coordinator IQAC of our college, for unwavering support received from her side. I am also very grateful to our eminent research persons for excellent content coverage and analysis their subject matter. I would also like to thank my beloved colleague, Srimati Upakata De, Faculty, Department of English, Srimati Anuja Gupta, Head, Department of Sociology, and Srimati Rishita Pal Chaudhary, Faculty, Department of Political Science, for their enormous cooperation in coordinating of this faculty development program. Last but not the least, I am very much thankful to all the participants, other dignitaries, my fellow colleagues, teaching and non-teaching staff of our college, and my dear students, for their active cooperation and participation. I am sure that the participants must have benefited by attending this faculty development program. I once again thank everyone whose contribution has made this 7-day international level online faculty development program on methodology of research in social sciences latest innovation, a grand success faculty development program. Thank you very much. Stay at home and be safe. Namaskar.
With this, we come to the very end of our 7-day international online faculty development program. The final assessment sheet and the feedback form will be mailed to you shortly. Please carefully fill in both these forms and submit it positively within the stipulated time. Please remember, certificate will be issued only to those participants who will submit all the assignments and complete all necessary formalities. Thank you all for being a part of this faculty development program. I will end today's program by leaving all of you with some food for thought. The whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows. Windows that open new realms of knowledge, show us endless possibilities, and help us carve out newer realities. We do not really need magic to change the world, for we carry that power within us. All we need to do is to imagine better, research harder, and never ever stop questioning. So, on that note, good night, everyone. Take care and always keep the curiosity alive. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
সে এন্ড করি
হ্যাঁ সুজয়, end করো। Thank you.
থ্যাংক ইউ